At the Okoli Law Group, we specialize in producing justice. If you or a loved one in the Atlanta metro area is facing serious criminal charges, then you need serious legal representation.
The Okoli Law Group is here for you. The Okoli Law Group is here for us.
The Okoli Law Group, serious legal representation.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror. Let me change the I don't like the circle right here. Hold on. There we go. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror. Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. Do me a favor. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. Shout out to my brother Fitzgerald Stevens in the house, finding ways to win. We got to get Fitzgerald back on the show, guys. Make sure you subscribe. Go and subscribe to our brother. Even though he's an Alabama fan, a Bama fan. And you know what, Fitzgerald? Since Bama sucks now, I ain't got to worry about Fitzgerald bragging about his football team anymore, because that school over in Tuscaloosa, they going to be down for a minute. They're going to be down for a while. But anyways, guys, make sure you go subscribe to Find Ways to Win with our brother Fitzgerald Stevens. So happy to have him in the chat. And Fitzgerald, you were hating on my beard, Fitzgerald. It's coming. Like, it's almost connected, Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, look, it's almost connected. I know you was one of the haters saying it will never connect. Fitzgerald, give it about 4 or 5 more months. It's going to be fully filled in, Fitzgerald. You was hating on my beard, Fitzgerald. We brothers, Fitzgerald, but you was hating on my beard. Okay? It's coming. It's coming, Fitzgerald. It's coming. But anyways, guys, hit that like button. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe. Got a couple of announcements. Announcement number 1. Hey, citizenship in Sierra Leone is back on. It's back on. It was postponed for a year, but now it is back on, you guys. We are back on citizenship in Sierra Leone. If you are interested in joining us and you want to come get your citizenship, hold on, what's going on? I got to present the screen. My bad. Hold on, let me, there we go. I'm going to get into that. Call for President Anthony. I'm going to get into that here in a second. You know, that's the topic. What's the difference between Al Sharpton and Elon Musk? But please visit Danfo, that's DANFO. .Africa. Please visit Danfo, that's DANFO Africa to learn more. So they've changed the rules a little bit when it comes to citizenship in Sierra Leone. So they've opened it up to more DNA companies. Again, they've opened it up to more DNA companies to prove that you have lineage to Sierra Leone. So instead of just using African ancestry, you now have the option to use African ancestry, ancestry.com, and 23andMe. Again, you have the option to use ancestry.com, 23andMe, and I'm sorry, another one, CRI. Again, CRI was the other one. So it's open up. You have more options. And you got to come twice now. You have to wait a year. You have to come twice, but you have to wait a year from the first trip. So every April and November are going to be the swearing in ceremonies. This April won't be one. I'm sorry. Every April and December. Every April and December are going to be the actual swearing in ceremonies. There won't be one this April, but in December there will be a swearing in ceremony for the group that came in this past November of 2024. The following year, the April group will come back in April 2026 to get their citizenship, and a group that comes in December 2025, they'll get their citizenship in 2026. So you got to wait a year, but it's opened up to more DNA companies as far as for proof of DNA. So I am hosting a group. The window is April 20th through May 4th, and the December 20th through May 4th. We won't be there the entire time. We won't be there more than 10 nights. So yeah, 9 to 10 nights max, because there's no need for it to stay there 2 weeks. It's just they give us a window, but we won't be there the whole time. But if you're interested in coming, please visit danfo.africa. Again, please visit danfo.africa. Also, we're rolling to Senegal in May for the Jazz Festival, which my brother Fitzgerald Stevens, he came with us to Senegal in May of 2023. Had a great time. His first time in Africa. We are also going to Nigeria in August for the Oshun Festival. Well, Senegal is filled up. The Senegal tour is filled. Nigeria still got some spots left. And then we have, what else we got going? Zanzibar in September, Safari Blue. Namibia and South Africa in November. So we're doing 2 trips in one, then back to Sierra Leone in December. So visit danfo.africa to learn more. Visit danfo.africa to learn more. Let's jump into today's topic. All right. If you guys don't know what's going on with Eric Adams, you have people who are calling for him to be fired from his mayor position just because the charges against him are going to be dropped. And so for some odd reason, the people who say that the justice system is the injustice system towards Black folks, how the system marginalizes Black and brown peoples. You have a Black man that is going to get his charges dropped, and y'all are upset. And we know the reason why. Shout out to Marie Shah in the chat room. We know the reason why those charges came against Mayor Adams in the first place was because he had the guts to actually call out Sleepy Joe's crazy immigration policies, which were hurting the people of New York. He got fed up. He called out Biden publicly, and then all of a sudden, here come the charges. And I was having a conversation with a friend of mine back when this happened. I said, I guarantee you those charges will get dropped once Trump gets into office. And they get dropped, rightfully so. So now there's this discussion. The governor of, which is crazy, the governor of New York is now asking and having meetings and consulting with people on what to do with Eric Adams. And one of those people were Al Sharpton. And I'm going to play the press conference here a little bit. Guys, give me a sec. I got to send a quick text message. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second, guys. I got to send a quick text message off. This in regards to Mansa. Man, goodness. Is this it right here? No. That's not it. Hold on 1 second. Guys, give me a second. Sorry about that. What's the guys, give me a second. I'm so sorry. Sorry about the interruption. I got to send off this quick text message. I just got to find. Here we go. Okay, copy. Here we go. I'm coming back to y'all. I'm coming back to y'all. There we go. Okay, there we go. All right, we're good to go. I'm gonna get into that. Al Sharpton was an informant, an FBI informant. I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna get into that too. So let's add that to the gumbo. Al Sharpton, the FBI informant, for some reason, the governor of New York needs to consult with the FBI informant on the future of Mayor Adams. And the complaint about Elon is, why is Elon involved in making these decisions, these governmental decisions, and he was never elected? Why is why is Elon able to get in these buildings and sit at these tables and he was not elected by the people? Well, how is Al Sharpton able to pretty much do the same thing? Why should the governor of New York be consulting with Al Sharpton when it comes to the future of Mayor Adams? Al Sharpton wasn't elected. But I'm going to play this this press conference. And there was this article. And I think we went over this article a couple years ago. And basically it stated how Al Sharpton is the most powerful black man in America. And I'm like, how? How did Al Sharpton become the voice of black people? I didn't elect him. I didn't vote for him to be the most the voice of black people. Pretty much Al Sharpton had an office at the White House while Obama was in office and Biden was in office. But he didn't do anything with that power. See, you can't get mad at Elon for doing what he's doing when Al Sharpton pretty much served in the same position as Elon and did nothing. Just took a bunch of photo ops. But let me play this real quick. Hold on. I just had it up yesterday. Here we go right here.
Follow all of these developments.
And,
Here we go.
And whether
Or not
I'll make a statement that I.
Reverend, did you come to any consensus with Governor Hochul about whether or not she should
I'll make a statement that I answer you.
Thank you.
I had a meeting around 35 minutes with the governor and expressed to her my concern about what is going on in the city and the state. Let's make no mistake about it.
Again, he's not an elected official. Why is Al meeting with, if you're so upset about the role Elon has with Trump, why are you not upset about Al Sharpton? And if you guys listen to this press conference, the simple question is, okay, Mr. Sharpton, should Eric Adams be fired or removed as mayor? Yes or no? And he just let me play it.
That we are in this position because President Trump, who pardoned people that were videotaped physically assaulting people January 6th, if he really felt that Eric Adams had become a subject to a political vendetta, which is what his defense is, then why did he pardon him? Now make it clear, I'm not asking for a pardon. I'm talking about the inconsistency.
Why aren't you asking for a pardon? Now, I agree with him. I think Trump should fully pardon him. instead of dropping the charges with, I think the term is without prejudice or with prejudice or without prejudice. But why don't you want this brother to be pardoned, Al Sharpton? Did you have an issue with Biden pardoning his son? Did you have an issue with Biden pardoning Fauci? Then you should say Trump should pardon the guy. Why not? But everything comes back to Trump for some reason.
That led to this. The only reason that we are late facing a court hearing tomorrow, and the only reason that the governor has to make a decision to do something or not do something that has not been done in 235 years is because there was a double standard used on Eric Adams' case, that those that he claims he believed were victims. I do not believe that he should have gotten a pardon, but I believe that Donald Trump has been inconsistent.
So he just said, Al Sharpton said he don't believe that Eric Adams should get a pardon. Now, guy, I think Eric Adams and Al Sharpton were boys. They were cool. So, Al, why don't you want your boy not to get a pardon? Al, why don't you want your boy to not to get a pardon? Why not?
Having said that, the governor said to me that she's going to see what the judge decides tomorrow and keep deliberating with other leaders. My feeling is that the faith of the city people have been shaken, and there needs to be a resolve. But at the same time, we must protect the law and not establish a precedent that could come back to haunt us.
Do you believe he should be removed?
The governor should remove him.
I just answered that.
You didn't answer it. Do you think he should be removed? Yes or no, Al Sharpton? You didn't answer it. Yeah, he threw Eric Adams. He threw his boy under the bus. Like, you want a pardon? Just say, yeah, he should get a pardon. He threw his boy under the bus. Do you think he should be removed? I just answered that. No, you didn't. Do you want him to be removed or not?
Question the governor asked.
Yes, I did. That's my answer.
Well, what's the first question the governor asked?
My answer is that we're going to wait and see what the judge says tomorrow, so that we do not set a precedent that, suppose if today she removed him saying because he's been indicted, and the judge says tomorrow I'm throwing out the indictment. So it would be premature to say that.
Al, do you want your boy to be removed or not? I mean, come on, Al. Come on, Al. It's a yes or no question. Forget the judge. Forget the politics. Do you want him to be removed or not? Come on, man. I got my brother Fitzgerald Stevens in the chat. Hey, Dynast, do you want Fitzgerald Stevens to be removed or not? No, I don't. Or yes, I do. Like, you deflecting to the judge now. Do you want him to be removed or not? That's a yes or no question, Al. Regardless of what the judge says. Do you want him to be removed or not? Yes or no? See, man.
Are you worried about the
Are
resignations of these deputy mayors?
I'm concerned about the state of the city and whether we can continue. Yes.
So do you see no issue then with the mayor being indicted in September and I guess the only changing factor is that the DOJ negotiated the dismissal. What if that hadn't happened? Would you have been okay with Adams staying in office?
Well, it seems like everybody was. There was no move for him to be removed when it happened. So it's not what I would say. The people that are asking for his removal based on the indictment should have said that when there was the indictment.
So Trump is.
I'm going by what you asked. I'm using your words.
So Trump is the differing factor.
The differing factor is that Trump did not use a pardon.
So again, Al Sharpton, let's remove Trump. Let's remove the case, the hearing today. Do you want your boy to be removed or not? Yes or no? Come on. Yes or no, Al? Do you want him to be removed or not? Quit deflecting to Trump. Quit deflecting to the hearing. Do you want him to be removed or not? Yes or no? Man.
Department of Justice decided to go with a non-judgment position of asking with no prejudice to drop the charges. That became a point of contention.
So are you concerned about the distraction of all of this?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, do you worry, even if the judge doesn't or does dismiss the charges, like the distraction of all of this?
The distraction, I think, is very, very damaging to the city.
Do you have confidence in Mayor Adams' ability to govern right now?
I think that is something that we'll see after what the judge says, that we will discuss with the mayor. I think that clearly there are a lot of people concerned, and I'm very much one of them. We ought to be talking about the rights of people in the city. I'm very concerned that Mr. Holman came in here and acted like he could make Adams do what he wants, or he'd be up his butt. I can't believe someone would say that on national television. I'm very concerned about how the behavior and the character of people have been around a very serious issue. We're talking about families being separated, people being raided and that are not here illegally. I'm very concerned about that. And that's
What about
the
the
issue
comments
we ought
about
to be
Mike
addressing.
Cobb? What about the mayor's?
Are you going to?
I have no idea if he's going to run.
What about the comments about Mike Cobb that Mayor Adams made yesterday? Does it show that he's not taking this seriously?
What comments did he make? I didn't hear his comment.
Reverend Sharpton, so if the charges are dropped, do you then think he should continue to serve in office? Is that what you're saying?
Again, we'll see when we get there. The law says that you can deal with it based on crime or public trust. So if the crimes are not there, then the question is, how do you evaluate public trust?
Do you think the inability? Do you think the inability committee applies like the conflict?
It could.
See, this is the difference between Elon Musk and Al Sharpton and Donald Trump. When they move, they make decisions. They're decisive. Executive order. This is what we're doing. We don't F your feelings. Meanwhile, Al Sharpton's around here playing games. These people are playing games.
Absolutely, the inability committee could kick in. But again,
what else did Ms. Hope tell you?
Answer one question at a time. But the inability committee, everybody kicks in after we see what the judge says. The first thing is he still under indictment?
Man, Al, do you want your boy to be removed or not? Yes or no?
What else did Ms. Hope tell you? What else did you talk? Like, what else did she say to you? Did she communicate?
Well, she and National Action Network. I came as head of National Action Network. I believe she's meeting with some elected officials. She's meeting with some faith leaders, and she's concerned about the city. I said,
faith leaders, faith leaders, faith leaders. So now the faith leaders are in position to determine the fate of Eric Adams. Faith leaders and Al Sharpton. You can't make this up, you guys. You can't make this up. That's why you can't be mad. You cannot be mad at the way Trump and Elon Musk are moving when these guys are playing games. Faith leaders. The Elon Musk and Trump sit down with faith leaders when it comes to these executive orders they're making. They had to sit down with the faith leaders. At every blackety black meeting, so-called, or conference at the White House, when it comes to black issues, Al Sharpton is at the table. Playing games. Yes, Kamala gave Sharpton $500K. Yes, she did. Well, to his organization, the National Action Network or whatever. But yes, he got $500K from Kamala, his organization, documented. Faith leaders. Oh man.
You're stable. You've been stable. We got to go through this stable. And it's not about friends. If somebody's wrong, they ought to be held there. But we should not create a precedent we can't make.
Reverend, when was the last time you talked to the mayor? And I guess how was that conversation?
We talked over the weekend.
He's feeling confident though, but you know everyone's kind of losing faith in him a little bit. It seems like.
I talked to him over the weekend.
You know him for a long time. You get along with him.
Again, this is not about a friendship. This is about, I'm going to stand up for what I believe. I've had friends that I campaigned against in office. This is about what is right and what's going to be a precedent.
Reverend, charges are dropped. Do you think that the governor could still seek the mayor's removal, even if the charges are dropped tomorrow?
Again, I just said that there are two ways, I understand, whether or not there's a crime or whether there's enough of an outcry of the city or of a given city that you've lost the public trust. And the question is, if there's no crime and you go to public trust, how do we gauge the public trust?
Reverend, she could ask him to resign.
She could.
Should she do that?
You should ask her that.
What do you think?
What do you mean you should answer that, Al Sharpton? You met with her. Do you support Eric Adams, yes or no?
What I thought, I told her go. Right now, was this a political or no? Thank you very much.
All right, so there we have it. As
there we go, Reverend Al. There you go, Reverend Al has spoken. The voice of the Black community, Reverend Al. The guy who has a seat at every table. I don't know how that happened. FBI informant, Reverend Al. Reverend Al. Here we go. Here we go. I think this is it real quick. Is this it right here? Yeah, Reverend Al Sharpton. Goodness. But he gets nothing done. Guys, can you tell me what Reverend Al Sharpton has gotten done? Can somebody please tell me how Reverend Al Sharpton has moved the needle? And listen, you're more than welcome to come on here and challenge me, and Dynasty, you'll know what you're talking about. You're more than welcome. Criticize me, whatever you want to do. But please tell me how. What has he actually done? I like to know. Sharpton wants Adams removed. He is playing the middle to protect Al should things go south. Thank you, Fitzgerald, for the $4.99 holla. What has he actually done? And that's what I'm saying. You can't be mad at Elon and Trump for what they're doing because they're making moves. Forget your feelings. We don't need to meet with the faith leaders. We see this, we executing. F your feelings. They're not dancing around the bush. They're very clear and direct. Meanwhile, Al Sharpton, hey, do you think your boy Eric Adams should be removed? Yes or no? Well, you got to talk to the judge and Trump. Man, what do you want? Like, what do you want? You got to talk to you got to talk to you got to talk to the media. Guys, I'm gonna put the link in the chat room. If you want to call in, you're more than welcome to call in. But if you want to call in, you're more than welcome to call in and add to the conversation. Again, link is in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Love to hear from you all. If you disagree, hey, you're more than welcome to call in. Again, if you disagree, you are more than welcome to call in and say, hey, Dennis, I disagree with you. Again, link is in the chat room. But guys, has Reverend Al been vocal about how Biden didn't pardon Marilyn Mosby or even Fannie Willis, or preemptive pardon Fannie Willis, or Letitia James? Yeah, call in. You're more than welcome to call in. But I mean, if Mayor Adams is fired by the mayor, like, this is, you guys don't understand what this means. Again, if Mayor Adams is fired by the mayor, I don't think you guys understand. Like, I agree with Al Sharpton on that. The presidents that this sets. What this means for especially Black Democrat. Listen, if you are a Black Democratic mayor or leader, you should not support Eric Adams being let go at all. Because that means you could be next. That means you could be next. Agree with him or not, you could be next. Al ain't say nothing. Al didn't say that, because then Al brought up kept bringing up the whole public trust argument. Again, simple question. Al, should Eric Adams be removed? Yes or no? It's a yes or no question. Yes or no answer. But guys, links in the chat room. If you disagree, you're more than welcome to call in. If not, we'll We'll close out early. The difference is Sharpton is a lowly thug turned evil swamp rat, and Musk generally loves our country and wanted to help everyone on it, not just select few. He doesn't take any salary at all. I agree. When Eric Adams should finish his term, and when re-election comes up and the voters vote him out or don't re-elect him, there's your answer. That's fair. Leave it up to the voters. Again, leave it up to the voters. I agree. Leave it up to the voters. I agree. Let him finish out his term. Here we go. Holla.
What's going on, man? How you gonna do a show, Diane? Talk about my favorite person and not call me, man. Come on.
Oh, rise up, Al Sharpton.
Oh yeah, man. Come on, man. How you gonna do a show, Al Sharpton? I almost missed the show, man. I was pissed, you know. Now that's my favorite person in the world, the Reverend Al Sharpton, you know. You know, I was thinking about this fool last night, right? You know, I always do. I have a lot of things on my mind, you know. One thing that came to mind, Al Sharpton, right, with his slick back hair and all stuff like that, and all the antics. And look, I'll be honest with you. He radicalized me when I was a kid. I had absolutely no reason to be angry, but I grew up.
Well, Colin, let me ask you this: like, what has he done? Because I mean, the chubby Al Sharpton versus skinny Al Sharpton. Because I was too young.
Well, I did like the fat Al Sharpton because he was very, very with the people. He was down to earth. You know, that's what attracted. I was just be a follower of his. You know, he radicalized me, and then next thing you know, he's on MSNBC. The very people he said he hated, these white liberals and whatnot. He's up there on MSNBC and whatnot, and it's told, hey, Reverend, and whatnot. He's the new darling of the white Democratic South. The people he fought for and said were our worst enemies in New York City, like the Mayor Kochs, the Cuomos, and Attorney General Adams. He hated those type of white people in New York when I was growing up, you know. Now he's he's up in bed with them. You know, I just don't understand it. And he radicalized me, man. He told me that no matter what, as a black man, you could never be happy in America. America's a racist country. And basically, I believed it, you know. And so to see him up there doing the same, because led me on the path of Pan Africanism and Black nationalism, and see him up there hugged up with the same people he told me to avoid, you know, it pisses me off, you know, when I think about it now. That's why nothing he says to me works. He brings people to Costco, right, as a support buy-in. You know how much he gave all these old black people? $25.
Well, I heard they didn't buy anything.
It was $25. You can't buy much at Costco with $25, right? But he gave him $25. He got $500,000 from Kamalamala. You know,
say it again. From
Kamalamala. Now, get this: how you basically gonna get $500,000 from Kamalamala, and you only gave them people a busload of $25 a piece, you know, to spend. And that's supposed to be like, oh, show a Costco support. Look, the whole thing is there's black people who are supporting DEI are the people who benefit from tokenism and crumbs. The mass of black people never benefited from this stuff. The mass of black people never benefited from affirmative action. You know, it's only a couple of hand-picked people like Jonathan Capehart. You think he would be any place if it wasn't for DEI and affirmative action? No. Dude has no talent, you know. You think Al Sharpton would be any MSNBC if it wasn't? You think Joy Reid would have that job? No. These are untalented people. They're not anything that anybody listens. But the bottom line is MSNBC is a DEI. Oh, did you hear about Obama's presidential library? 8 years is still not complete.
No.
Get this. It's so cost overrun. It's like they said it's going to take like almost $1 billion to complete it, and it looks ugly. You know why? Because Obama said it was a DEI thing. He said he wanted a third of the workforce to be people of color, whether they're qualified or not. And now it ran so over that it probably won't be completed. Usually presidential libraries are completed within like 3 years after the president leaves office. You know. This has been 8 years, and it's still not even halfway done because he chose DEI hires and whatnot. He didn't get the best qualified people to build it. He got DEI hires. He insisted on DEI hires. And it's just I don't know, man. Like I said, man, this is what we come to in America. People unqualified getting positions and everything, and it makes it bad for people who are qualified, who do black people who do good work. We're painted with that broad brush. Oh, you must be a DEI hire. People see my office, my agency, and whatnot. They think we're probably some DEI experiment. We busted our ass. We got the #1 agency in my region. For a reason because we're good.
Hey, Colin, why did so what's the whole he was an FBI informant?
Well, what happened was, it's out there on tape. You can look it up on YouTube,
Right,
right?
right, right, right.
Okay. Anyway, what happened was, Al Sharpton was trying to, he said he would put two and two together, right? One guy was Manny the Horse was a drug dealer, and with thing, but Al Sharpton went on the premise that he was trying to get black people city piece of the minority contracts in construction or something like that, right? But the bottom line, the dudes he was dealing with were hardcore gangsters and mob people, and he defended by saying, "I don't care if I'll meet with Manny the Horse and LC the Cow." Thing like that. So, whether he's an FBI informant, I don't have any proof of it, but it just seems likely every time there's an incident, right, with black people, he shows up, and he always steers the conversation and the rhetoric left, right? People could have legitimate issues, right? Like the Central Park people, they had legitimate issues because they were unfairly targeted and everything like that. But what happens is when you bring Al Sharpton in there, then suddenly the attention turns away from the victims or whoever like going through that to Al Sharpton. That's very strange. He does that in a lot of different cases where he shows up and whatnot. Pretty soon, like there was an incident, and you don't probably remember this. Is Philip Pinnell. You ever remember that incident in Teaneck, New Jersey?
No, I don't.
Okay, it was 1990, right? A bunch of kids, man. This is my age, Gen Xers, right? They were out there. I used to go to Teaneck too, and sometimes we get a little rowdy and whatnot, just like any other teenage kids, white, black, whatever, like that. Well, this nerd ass cop came and shot Philip Pinnell in the back, right? At first, the Pinnell family said they didn't want nothing to do with Al Sharpton, right? Because they was like, well, we don't want to turn they did the right thing at first. They said we don't want our son's name to be in the media circus, whatever like that, and focus it. After a while, when the media basically tried to cover it up and everything, then they finally said, okay, let me bring in Al Sharpton. And that's when Al Sharpton's popularity grew because they're like, black people can start saying, well, when something happens, at least he shows up and when it brings attention to it because the media hates him, but they're always putting the camera in his face. But that's how he got his power. But the thing is, I always blame white people say because if you guys don't like Al Sharpton, then stop with the racist stuff y'all going through. You put us through, and then Al Sharpton will cease to exist. But even when there is no racism, Al Sharpton finds a way how to make it. Like with this DEI case, it's not about race. So why is Al Sharpton injecting himself in there? So he's basically the point where anything, it could be about any issue. Like at a time, you probably don't remember this, right? There was an issue about one of the Yankees manager called Bronx Youth Monkeys or something like that because the way they act, whatever like that. Al Sharpton made it a race issue one night. Next thing you know, people going to a baseball game in Yankee Stadium. Al Sharpton and his ilk are out there protesting and whatnot. Like, man, come on, man. It's not about race. The guy made an off-color remark about the youth, whatever like that. But it had nothing to do with fucking the broader black community and whatever like that. But he makes everything about race and whatnot. And that's how and the media gives him coverage. And that's how he gets power. He has his power. That's what it is. As long as there's this imbecile racism in America, whatever like that, he's gonna be there. Now he's basically got the grand prize is Donald Trump. Now back in the days, Al Sharpton
They was boys. He was boys with Donald Trump back
but
in the
you
day.
gotta say something. There's something bigger than that. Is that Al Sharpton knows that Trump is a gravy train. He could ride the Donald Trump into gravy train with this orange man bad situation, and he knows people will go for it. And people, saying we got evidence. You were hanging out with this guy, Jesse Jackson. Donald Trump financed Jesse Jackson's presidential campaign.
Right. His presidential campaign. Did you know? And I'm gonna pass it to JA that Donald Trump flew Nelson Mandela to America on a private plane when he couldn't get here.
And not only that, Donald Trump hid Michael Jackson out from Kamala Harris. Michael Jackson was Donald Trump's best friend. That was his best friend. And so how they can basically cover. That's why I said I don't trust black media. Trump for years. You took his money. You stayed in his hotels and everything. Like you were boys with him, and everything. Now, because the powers that be, that's how power be. They're even coming after Mike Tyson. You see that, Dennis?
Right.
Mike Tyson dared to have a good time with Jake Paul at the inauguration, and they said Mike Tyson is finished. They got target on Mike Tyson's back now. Mike Tyson dared to show up at the inauguration. Mike just having a good time, man. Mike don't really get into politics like that. Mike just out there having a good time at the inauguration. His old friend Donald Trump stood by him when he went to jail. Donald Trump was the only one that came to see him, stood by him, and believed in him. Believed in innocence. And Mike Tyson, I'm not gonna forget.
Hey, Kyle, let me pass the mic to JA because he's been waiting.
Sorry,
go ahead, JA. Unmute yourself.
All right. So now I'm gonna see how long Kala can listen, right? It's gonna be interesting. So I got a couple of questions for Kala first and foremost, man, or for you too. Is it okay as a leader, as a human being, to change your mind or change your positions as you get new information?
Well, it's like this. You could change your position. I evolve. You could evolve, but you don't go do a 360-degree turnaround like that, because the bottom line, Al Sharpton led me to believe that America was irredeemable. That's what I was led to believe. To see him up there, and what angered me was when basically when I think Obama first got elected, right? He was, and the Republicans were attacking him, Obama. He was Obama's chief defender on MSNBC. And he said something like, I love America and I believe in America. And I'm saying, you're lying out your fucking mouth, There's nothing wrong with someone saying, I love America, believe in America, but just be that, Be that. Don't come up here because now things are working good for you because you got a black president and you got a lucrative $3 million a year job on MSNBC. Suddenly America is great. What happened to the friggin' cause? I don't like people friggin' doing stuff like that. If you're gonna be something, be something. Don't sit there because your circumstances change. So like this, because you let everybody to believe that this was about some revolution and blah blah blah. He just look. This guy, I'm from New York. This guy literally single-handedly destroyed the fabric. New York we had a really good peace with the white community in New York. They had their side, we had our side. You stayed over there, we stayed over here. But it's times like the ball dropping, Yankees games, stuff like that, the Macy's Day Parade, black and white people got along. Pretty much. We'll go out to Flushing Meadow Park, Battery Park, everything. You see black people, white people, like that. That was New York. Everybody knew your place. You knew you're Italian. You got an Italian neighborhood. You're black. You got Harlem. Because you had your own culture, space, and everything. Like they had their own space. Al Sharpton came and friggin' destroyed all that. Where he had black people and white people at each other's throats. And the relationship between blacks and white was so friggin' damaged, right? Even to this day, And so basically now for him to get up there on MSNBC and act like he's some peacemaker or something, or like he's some peacemaker, like you said, what's the difference of him and Elon Musk? Not a goddamn thing, not a damn thing. He's a rebel rouser like Elon Musk is, with this Afrikaan shit, That's what I feel about it,
So if your position is 180 degrees different than what you thought, it's wrong. You're like, hey, you know what I was saying is wrong, right? I'm making the assumption that what you said about Sharpton is true, right? Now, you might have had a personal conversation with him and a personal understanding of what he was saying. I've watched Sharpton for years. I never took away the same thing you're taking away from what he's saying. I took away that he's saying, hey, from my understanding, I never felt like he said, it's like the whole Jeremiah Wright thing, sometimes, black people have an experience in America. that America is a certain way and will not change. Just like when Michelle Obama said she's never been proud of America. That
Well, look.
when her
Everybody
husband, you
basically.
know, because of the way her husband was getting the support, right? You know what I mean? So
Well, but this is what I would say like this. Every black person, if you're sane, feels that way at some point in time, you know? Yes, that's expected. You're a minority group. What happened to our ancestors? We understand that, you know? We understand that we're ambivalent at best towards America like that. But I think, personally, when I listen to Al Sharpton, not even Michelle Obama, I listen to Al Sharpton from back in the days, whatnot. That was more than just the typical Negro disgruntlement, you know? That was pure hatred, you know? And he almost brought New York City to a race war, you know, doing the Toronto Brawley case in the Central Park and whatnot. Those were serious times. I had to leave New York because of that shit, because the racism was so bad, the tensions were so bad in New York, you know? So for him to come up, then my point is for him to come up here now and act like he is some peacemaker, or the Republicans are bad and everything like that. He's good and he stands for good.
another question for you,
Virtue
Carla.
signaling, that is a
Let me ask
fucking
you another
lie.
question.
Excuse my language. Yeah.
Let me ask you another question. The Tawana Brawley case, did he ever apologize for his
No, no,
participation in that?
no. This is what he said.
Dinus,
He said that this is another
Dinus,
lie, right? 'Cause I was
Dinus,
there.
Dinus. 1 second,
Yeah.
Carla. Dinus, can you
What?
do me a favor and look up if cup of
I'll
sharp?
show.
You're breaking up, bro.
Jay, this is what I would say, right? Because I remember this Tawana Brawley case, like, because I came from that area, upstate New York, right? I came from that area, upstate New York, right? And
brother.
this is what I would say, right? Al
Carla.
Sharpton wasn't on the case initially, right? He was Ultimatics and C. Vernon Mason. Then next thing you know, Al Sharpton joined the Tawana team, and he started being the main media
Because I can't
spokesperson,
look
you
it up
know?
because I'll drop.
Okay, so what I'm saying is this: so after the Tawana Brawley case was over, right, and basically, it was found out that she wasn't being truthful, right? Because I remember one time that he had Mrs. Brawley in a church, right? He had her in a church because Juanita Brawley, I think her name was, because the governor, attorney general said he was going to arrest her for not subpoenaing because she wanted to know what the mother do about the case. Was she at home? So Al Sharpton and them basically did a political stunt, publicity stunt, where he handcuffed himself to Juanita Brawley inside his church, right? And also some reporter snuck into this church and Sharpton fucked him up, man. The dude came out with bruises on his head and whatnot. He goes, "I got beat up by the Reverend Al Sharpton." You know, he goes, "Oh, Sharpton fucked the dude up, man." You know, and I was just so freaking. It was hilarious, man. But the whole thing is, after the Tawana Brawley case and everything like that, basically, he still to this day said he has nothing to apologize for. He was just following. He covers himself by saying he was following what he was told by the case. But the whole thing is,
Yeah, and Jay, what Kyle's saying, when I just looked it up, that's pretty much what he said, that he just went off of the information he gave. I mean, the information he was given.
and that was a lie. He was leading it, you know. They were leading, they're telling that girl what to say and saying this. Because once they got jumped out there, they said, okay, we can't, we'll be ruling forever. And then what he said with to Automatics was, this, you know, this Tawana thing, right, will make us the biggest niggas in New York. In other words, basically, Al Sharpton, like always, what you see this Costco thing, his words, it has nothing to do with black people. It has everything to do with this man's ego. And when you basically are putting black people at risk, because every time these leaders, Ben Crump, all they make their stupid statements, remember something, we're only 12% of the population, right?
Hey, Kyle, let me pass. I'm gonna give you 30 more seconds. I gotta pass a mic till we win it because he's been waiting.
Okay. Let me finish.
Yeah, go ahead, 30 seconds. I gotta pass the
Okay,
mic.
yeah. So therefore, what I'm saying is this, and you say, call it, man, like this. Look, you ain't gonna rise up, and you don't want no smoke with these fucking people in this country. Al Sharpton got bodyguards. He got he'll throw his hands. His wolf he throws his hands and throw rocks and hides his hands, and then we're left dealing with this shit, you know, that he created. You know, and the whole thing about Al Sharpton, I'm gonna say this, Diane, this is my last thing I'm gonna say on this right now. You pass the mic. Al Sharpton came from, he had a middle class life in Queens at one time, right? And what happened was his father left him, right? So the life he knew of the black middle class in Queens and whatnot was taken from him. And he had to move to public housing with his mother. I think that's what angered him about black people in general. So his job is to make life so uncomfortable for the black people out there in Queens when he thinks is uppity and whatnot. So his job, he hates black success and whatnot because he was one time part of it, but he said he had to move and they lost contact with all the life that they knew and stuff like that, you know. So his mother had to become a single mother in Queens, and they were cut off from all the nice things he had known and stuff like that. So I think he grew up a lot of resentment towards black people, you know. I think Al Sharpton had a lot of hatred and resentment towards black people, you know. And so he always makes everything centered around the poor and the angry and disgruntled. As soon as people get a little
Hey,
success,
Colin, let me play this video
yeah, go
real
ahead,
quick.
go ahead.
Then I'm gonna pass it to We Winning. Hold on. This is Al Sharpton right here. Give me a second. Give me a second. Hold on.
I remember people saying that Tawana was lying. And to this day, people think Tawana lied, you covered it up, and that there are reports that you told Tawana, just stick with the story, you're going to make money on it.
Well, first of all, I think now, looking 35 years later, those that said that should come up with where did she or anybody make money on it. We had just done the Howard Beach case. Why would I go and cover up anything? I believed what the lawyers told. I never asked a 15-year-old girl what happened, and I said that. But I believed the lawyers, and I believed what was said, and I believe she deserved her day in court.
But two of those lawyers wound up, did they get disbarred or
One
suspended?
of them, I think, was suspended.
C. Vernon Mason, Automatics.
But again, when, like you mentioned, I did George Floyd. I believed Ben Crump. I didn't go do an autopsy on George Floyd. Activists go by what is presented and let the courts litigate it. And I say in the documentary I have friends now that says there's no doubt in their mind OJ killed his wife, but a jury said he wasn't guilty. So we have to have the same standard. If you believe something and advocate on its behalf, let's go to court and see what the court says. How many times did we go to court and lose on police cases? We won on George Floyd. And that's what I did on Tawana Brawley 35 years ago because I believed it. I believed the lawyers had done their research and they testified. We told Reverend Sharpton, I don't sit up there and ask a 15-year-old girl any questions.
All right, so Colin, you got just if you can answer in 30 seconds, I want to pass it to We Winning. How do activists get paid then?
Well, this is what it is, right? Al Sharpton gets paid through his notoriety. He get paid through his speaking fees. They have money coming in. Remember something, right? There's a lot of people, right?
Because I remember, I think it was Tamir Rice's mom
they raised a lot of money.
Was saying that, you know, all them activists that got involved was getting paid.
Oh yeah, they do. There are people who have fundraisers, GoFundMe's, and stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot of money to be made and stuff like that. And not only that, like you said, the book rights. You know, if people will pay you exclusively for a story. If someone says, we got a Time magazine, we got an interview, a 5-page interview with the Reverend Al Sharpton about the Tawana Brawley case, that magazine will sell off the shelf. Of course, yeah, there's money in that. There's money in publicity. You know. As long as you got publicity and everything like that, and you got a story that people want to hear, you're gonna sell. He knows that, you know. It may not be immediate, but eventually, you know, he's selling story. You remember something happened a couple of years ago where somebody said, "I want to shop my story" to somebody else, and they got book people offered all kinds of deals and whatnot. You know, $10 million deal to get their story out. Look at Barack Obama. How much did he get paid? Like $50 million advance for his story.
So yeah. Let me pass it. We Win It. Go ahead. We Win It. Meet yourself.
Right now, I'm just listening to get the context of what's going on. I just came in.
Just call back when you're ready. Call back when you're ready. All right, go ahead, Carla.
Yeah. So this is what happens: is when people have a story of publicity. Look, the bottom line. I wish I did something interesting, right? That everybody wants to hear. Only time I can think of is that time in Virginia Beach years ago when I got stabbed at IHOPs. You know, when I was working at IHOPs and I got stabbed. That was all in the news, right down here and whatnot. You know, I felt like, man, I'm gonna sell my story to some, but it wasn't that big of a case. You know, I got stabbed by a bunch of thugs, whatever, like that. You know, jumped by a bunch of thugs and stabbed. You know, almost bled out and whatnot, almost died and whatnot. Anyway, that was my like I said, the 15 minutes of fame. 15 minutes of fame. That's what it is. So when Al Sharpton is constantly doing stuff like that, I know one day he's going to write a book and he's going to get paid big money for that. People want to know what happened about the Twana brothers. People want to know the Howard B. Keefe case, the Bensonhurst, the Yusuf Hawkins, or whatever. He was involved in all this shit. You think that's not going to capitalize or monetize whatever? He's just waiting for his time, man. He's biding his time. In the meantime, basically, because he's so controversial, he racked up a gig on MSNBC, Comcast. So he does not. He benefits from the muckety muck in Black America. He has no intentions of ever seeing it. That's why when Donald Trump came, when he has to convince Black people that Donald Trump's a racist, because that's how it keeps his whole game going. Now he's rising up, fighting racism. Long as we people, and you ever notice that we never get any place? That's not the game. People say, yeah, well, how come we're not making no progress? Because you ain't trying. It's not about that. It's about these people getting rich and basically living the good life. Al Sharpton drives in a limousine. He drives literally like drives in a limousine. And he eats in the finest restaurants. He has a private jet. And what's this all for? Is he a famous baseball player? Is he a filmmaker? Is he a rapper? No, he's a fucking activist. He got the easiest job in the world. All he has to do is show up one night. He has no accountability. At least everybody else, right? At least Donald Trump, he has to deliver. He has to deliver something. Elon Musk gave us Twitter and Tesla and also. You see what I mean? Where's Al Sharpton give us? Nothing but problems. He's been nothing but a problem for Black America. We get nothing out of this guy. That's just my opinion.
All right, let me pass it to go ahead, Nigel.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Dynast. Greetings to the panelists, Color Genesis, and the chat and viewers. Yeah, I don't like his politics. I don't like this democratic politics that goes on. But one thing I can say about Sharpton is that I've not really seen him do anything like really negative. Maybe he has not accomplished a lot more than we would like. I don't understand. I don't necessarily subscribe to the idea that just because you are fighting for our people, you have to be poor. It is not necessary that has to be the case. It's not necessary that he has to do everything. He cannot be. As a matter of fact, if you think about it, at the time when they were fighting their fight, they were quite young, probably older than me. And where are those young people now? They're all on TikTok, Instagram, and doing their own thing. So maybe he's an old man. And Jesse Jackson, all of them, their time has come and has gone, and the young generation are not picking up. Maybe they are responsible for why the young generation are not picking up. I always say that all the time, that the Black community in America don't seem to have a direction they are traveling. But I can also say the Black community is doing too badly, because some of the most educated Black people around the world, they are Black Americans, and well-read people are Black Americans. And you can see the recent one with Kendrick Lamar, that yeah, it's a mixed bag, and you cannot prove the counterfactual. Let's say it could have been worse without these people. How do we know? We can't prove that. And so I don't know, maybe we should be a little bit because I have not seen him do any. Okay, what has he really done that was so bad to Black people?
Well, let me say this to you, Nigel. I'm glad you said that, right? And you made a very good point. But here's the thing, right? Al Sharpton, right? This is what happens when people. There's this movie that came out. I forgot what name was, but it had. I think it was Eddie Murphy, right? And it was about Motown, right? It was about Motown. I forgot the name of the movie, right? Somebody press my name. It was Motown. But anyway, Eddie Murphy's character come out and basically he made a fool out of him. So they said, "What you singing is out of date, whatever like that." And this happens all over the world, right? When the younger generation, right, comes up, right, like me, Gen Xers and whatnot. Maybe I didn't come from the struggle that this generation came from, right? And the whole thing is you got large numbers of black kids, black people now. Although we still have like beliefs about our culture and history and stuff like that, we're not at the point where we're so centered around poverty, misery, police brutality. When that's not the reality of life. Even a lot of black people who want to move to Africa, I'm still finding out a lot of it has nothing to do with racism, you know. And so the older generation say, "I want to leave America because of racism." A lot of them just say, "Hey, I got no problem with America. I grew up in the suburbs, two parent with the college and everything, but I just want to change of view." Al Sharpton and the people like him don't know how to handle black people like that. They'll sit there and tell you, like Umar Johnson is another modern version of Al Sharpton, right? Because he makes it seem like every black person is suffering and all that. But that's Umar's personal life. He doesn't have a job. He has no money, whatever like that. So he's suffering. So everybody else has to be suffering. And then the majority of black people are just tuning these people out. They're like, damn, I know things are bad, but it's not that damn bad. I got a job. I got a money. I got a car note, whatever like that, you know. So
I, don't-
Let me add a
you know,
couple of things when Kala is
okay,
done,
go
real
ahead.
quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
So let
so
me finish.
first and foremost,
Let
on
me
the
finish this point. So therefore,
okay,
the extreme thing that Al Sharpton represent, the extreme we got to do is like what you call like when DEI happened. You know, most black people don't give a really rat's ass about DEI. You're like, well, look, just like when it happened a couple of years ago when the Asians thought they scored a victory with the affirmative action and admissions. Black people were like, okay, we just go to HBCUs, problem solved. And they're sitting there like, damn, we thought we were gonna have these people pissed off. You can't really do nothing to Black America no more. The immigration issue, that's not Black America's issue, you know. So Black America is almost like becoming immune to a lot of stuff that we thought we needed leadership for, you know, in the past. So they got to come up. Black leaders got to come up with something new. Maybe nationhood is the next step for Black America, you know, because I don't see anything else. Fighting for civil rights, fighting against police brutality and stuff like that. You saw what that did with the Black Lives Matter. Black people are tired of this shit. The two fat
all right.
girls from yeah.
Go ahead,
So
Dre. Go ahead, Dre.
first and foremost, I just looked up on Fox News about Sharpton's private jet. He does not have a private jet from
He
and
doesn't,
his
but
quote.
no, he
And
basically
hold on, one
flies
second.
on a private jet,
Let
bro.
me finish, brother. Let me finish, brother. His quote in the Fox article was that Tyler Perry sent him a jet to go to Minneapolis, I think, for something with Chauvin, his case verdict. And Tyler Perry has also flown, like Eric Garner's mother. Robert Smith has also flown. I think it was Tamir Rice or somebody else's family up, or so just different. But it's like these wealthy black guys, I guess, that provided this jet for him to
Yeah, and so
make that trip.
that's
So
even
that's the
worse.
first
That's
thing.
even worse. He don't even have to maintain his own jet because he got people flying him around. Every time I see Al Sharpton, he shows up in a
Come on.
private
Hey,
jet.
Carla, calm down. So these guys have a plane, and if they want to support by doing that, they're free to do that, right?
Hey, Dynasty, you got somebody give me a private jet,
Trump flies private all the time.
but he
I don't hear
owns
you
that
complain
plane
about
though.
that.
Trump
It
owns
doesn't
that
matter.
plane
I
though.
mean, if someone gives you, but personally, if you ask me, I mean, I probably wouldn't do it in a sense, like because you want to maintain like some distance, so that way, if something happens to these people, they do something wrong, you can still speak out against them. These wealthy black dudes that gave him the plane, but if he wants to do it, it's not illegal. So I mean, he can do
It's
it,
not legal,
right?
but it's immoral. My
Right
whole
now,
point I'm
the other
trying to
thing
make is,
is,
what's wrong with Al Sharpton flying commercial like everybody else?
I mean, I don't have an issue with Al flying private jet. I mean, I don't care about that.
okay, so but the main thing I was trying to say is that he does not own a private jet, which is what was said, right?
Well, he
Now,
has a fly. I didn't say he owned it. I say he has a private jet, or he's
well, he
providing
doesn't
for a
have a
private jet.
private jet. That would imply that he owns it. He doesn't have a
Oh, okay.
private jet.
I didn't mean to say he owns it.
Okay.
I feel like every time I see Al Sharpton, I mean everything. It could be any little thing.
All right,
go
yeah,
into
yeah.
a
Go ahead and continue. Let's
And then the other thing I realized in your conversation, I realized something, and tell me if I'm wrong. It seems to me like you're implying that essentially white people have the power in this country, right? Because of their voting numbers and just their numbers and all, right?
and they built the
And it
country.
seems to me like you're saying that, hey, we should not push against that system in any way.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the thing we say is, Jay. Listen to this very, very carefully, right?
Mm,
Black America spends $1.6 trillion. If we
mm,
spent 10% of that money in black owned, and we got access to black owned businesses,
mm,
black owned business apps, so now you could download, right? And you could everything you need, right? Except for stuff you want on Amazon. That we're gonna have that soon too.
mm.
We need our own Amazon, right? That we could order from. We don't need freaking Amazon. We don't need Costco's and everything like that. We could build. We could do like that. So that's what would empower black. Imagine hundreds of billions of dollars flowing back into Black America. That'll be our reparations right there. But so I'm not saying like if you tell me make the point that I'm saying Charles said no, I'm saying we're gonna go against the system. I said I want to see Walmart fall. I want to see Costco's fall. I don't give a damn about Target and all these people. I want to build Black America. I'm saying, look, this is what I'm saying, Jay, you ever read the Bible? The Bible said, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. That means I recognize that white people are the majority. They built this country and whatnot, whatever it is. See the shining sea. They're the ones who are going to fight and die for this country. I don't give a shit about this country. They're going to fight and die for it, so let them have it. Let's Black America take what's ours. Our women are ours. Our communities are ours, right? Our dollars are ours. Let's keep what's ours. We can't even get what's ours. So how are we going to talk about wait, that's what I said about Al Sharpton. He's so interested in what the white people got instead of focusing on what
So
we have and building what
let
we
me
have.
ask you a question again, Carla. Let
and
me ask you
then
a
after
question
this, I'm gonna
again.
pass it back to Alan. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, let me ask you a question again, Carla. Right? Because we get this 1 point some trillion, right, of earnings or whatever in America, right? The United States of America, right?
Yeah,
The black people here are citizens or residents of some kind in this United States of America. Under the United States of America, there are laws that govern the United States of America that says humans have the right to speak, to assemble, to not no unlawful search and seizures, all this type of stuff, right? So we're getting
yeah,
this money in America, bro, based on the laws of America. You see what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah, look,
You
let me
can't
tell you
separate
something.
the two.
Let me
You
tell
can't
you something.
you can't
Look,
separate the two.
Black America, for the most part, people don't like when I say this, right? Black America is are right now nationally are Americans. We're not Nigerians. We're not Liberians. We're not even Africans right now. We're Americans. We live in this country. We live on these laws and everything like that in this society in this day, like Malcolm X said, right? So basically, however it is, every system, Jay, has inherent weaknesses. One of the weaknesses America has was it allowed a large number of black people to metastasize to this point where they don't know what to do. How do you go discard? If Black America decided to pull out of America, this place will collapse. You can't take $1.5 trillion out of there. The labor, the money, the consumer power. That's what Black America is what fuels this whole economy. How do you think America has so much money? Because Black America, our money's not being put to other countries. Other countries would love to have $1 trillion of income coming in from this labor workforce. But America gets all that money back. That money doesn't leave America. So yeah, black people do have a lot of power when it comes to economics and stuff like that. But we don't use it because we just like, hey, here. But I do think black people, if we want to, we could start supporting. We could start investing in black African infrastructure and black businesses on the African continent. We should be basically building trade, manufacturing on the African continent. We should be trying to find a way how to build our own black African American stock exchange. We need that. I'm gonna say it again. It's time for us in the city of Atlanta get the best black minds and build a black-owned security and stock exchange, so we can globally raise hundreds of trillions of dollars worth of capital that we could do whatever we want with it. I mean, and we could. The reason why it could work because we're here in America and we got nothing else to do. You know, as long as it's legal, we can do it. You know, other countries have to basically start the
Hey, Kyle,
negative.
let me pass it to Alan. Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah. Y'all hear me?
Yes.
All right, good. Well, basically, Al Sharpton is a tool, and he's a tool of division and a tool of the government, and that's been proven. Whether we talk about him being working for government agencies, that's all been proven in a variety of capacities. So why we care what he has to say about anything is beyond me, to be honest. He's literally given up being a legitimate advocate for Black people many years ago, so he could sit his behind on television for money, and so that's the end. He's not an activist. He's not anything. He's a tool. And so anytime you see Al Sharpton involved with something, he's doing anything, you're seeing an active tool of the liberal establishment and of the federal government doing whatever they're telling him to do. I wish people would stop putting him in the same category as
Can I ask you then?
Hold on,
Let
let
him finish. Let him finish. Go ahead, Alan.
I wish people would stop putting him in the same category as MLK or even a Jesse Jackson, who himself is a tool. He's absolutely nothing. He does nothing for the community that doesn't benefit liberal white people and their causes. That's what he is.
Exactly.
Now, in terms of why he's what's the difference between him and Elon Musk? Elon Musk is actually representing his own interests and in his own people. He got Trump to go ahead and offer out a olive branch to white South Africans to get him to come to this country. You know, he's actually doing things for his people, his causes, and he's had a long line of Nazis in his family, and he's doing the things he's supposed to do and has the president's ear, to the point where he's holding his own press conferences in the White House. Al Sharpton couldn't dream of being in that position. Al Sharpton takes direct orders, and that's it. So that's the difference between the two men.
I want to say something to that, but someone else can talk first. I want to ask Alan HB a question, if he doesn't mind.
Sure.
So are you saying to me that Black people in America who are citizens of the United States of America and fall under the laws of the United States of America, which includes freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, all this type of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Should put their support behind an individual who seems, by all indication, because you said about Nazi, to be trying to bring South African apartheid type politics to the United States?
No, that's not what I didn't say anything about that. What I'm saying
Well, if you well, the guy that's putting him in that position is the guy that we elected, right?
Well, yeah, and what I'm saying is, I'll just say what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the question for what I've read, because I did miss the first half of the show. The question for what I read was, what is the difference between Elon Musk and Al Sharpton? There's a big difference. One is effective for his community, and the other one is not. The other one's a tool for the opposition. It's controlled opposition. So there's a big difference.
Let me ask you another question on that controlled opposition thing, right? You said that he's used by the white liberals, right?
Absolutely.
But what about the white conservatives? Because to me, the politics of getting rid of affirmative action, say, no consideration for no discrimination on sex, on race, all this type of stuff, is more of the conservatives like that position more, right?
Jay, let me ask you this, right? Why did you quickly inject that sex thing in with Black people? You know, see, that's a problem right
No,
there.
hold on,
you know?
hold on. Let me ask you a question. The reason I do that is because the law in the United States states that. It says no discrimination. It's not just race. It gives you like 5 or 6 things, right?
Well,
Now,
hold on. Let me ask you a
hold on.
question.
No, let me finish answering. Let me finish
Yeah,
answering.
let me cook
Let
that. Go
me
ahead.
finish answering. One second, Carla. It's a few seconds. The law states that. Now, if you can get the politicians in Congress to change the law to say just race, then hey, we just say just race. But
Let
that's
me
what the
ask you a
law
question.
says.
Let me ask you a question, John. Do you
Uh-huh.
think the average black person, right, when this was done on our behalf, right? Do you know that you ever heard of in Congress or laws are called riders? Movements
Hold
have
on, hold
right.
on. Alan, was that Alan? Are you done?
Well, no. What I wanted to
Go
answer
ahead.
to
Go
what he
ahead.
was saying was he's trying to make it seem as if I'm somehow endorsing Trump or Elon Musk and their policies. No, I'm just addressing the original question, which was what is the difference between the two, and the main difference as far as we black people should be concerned is that Al Sharpton is not really a leader of anything. He's given that up many years ago when he decided to sit his behind on television and become a TV personality and instead of an activist. He said he gave it up many years ago when he decided to work hand in hand with the government. You can't be an activist and be working for the government. And so why anybody would be listening to anything that Al Sharpton has to say and not look at him sideways is beyond me. That's not an endorsement of Elon Musk. I don't really like Elon Musk. As I said, he has a long line of anti-black hatred and Nazism in his family, as admitted by many of his family members. So I'm not the biggest fan. But one thing you can say is that he is an advocate for the people who are like him, and I can't say the same thing about Al Sharpton.
Yeah, let me finish what Alan's saying. In other words, Jay, the way you injected the sex thing, gender, I guess you're talking about the sexual orientation, and stuff like that. We did not look. Martin Luther King, his daughter said, "My father did not die or whatever fight for two men to get married." Right? See, all these things were heaped into the backstreet of civil rights. That's what DEI, affirmative action, has nothing to do with black people, which was intended for originally. Did other these people like that? Do you really think they really care about what black people get? No. These white people understand. White liberals understand one thing. They may have sons and daughters. I've seen it with my own eyes. The presidents of Disney and Sony. One lady said we need transgender or gay Marvel characters. Why? Because she has a son that's trying to transition and he needs to be represented. This is what we're dealing with, right? Rich, powerful white people who got their own interests and everything like that. That's how you think they want the Mexicans over here because they find them with cheap labor. But all this is done by people like Al Sharpton under the banner of liberal politics and everything like that. We just go along with it. So when somebody so when black people say, you know something, I don't agree with all this, right? So I'm gonna rock with Donald Trump this election. Don't come at us like, oh well, we're supporting Donald Trump. No, we're just saying we're tired of being used by other people who don't share our values and they get a long ride on. Like the affirmative action in college. We weren't benefiting from that. It was mostly immigrants and everybody else, but black America, that's what black America, when they took it away, black people said, well, I wasn't benefiting in the first place. Same thing with DEI. We didn't benefit, so what the hell? So Al Sharpton is at a loss. Now that lady Ayanna Priestley, Dinus, has decided this is how I'm gonna get niggas. Excuse my language. Sorry, Negroes. I'm gonna reintroduce HR 40, reparations bill. Now you know that's not gonna pass, but if we fall for it one more time, we could help them out in the midterms. That's all it's about. You know, they're right now. See, AJA. What you have right now in Black America is a really, really bad abusive relationship with the Democrat Party. They don't give a damn about black people. We're neglected. They don't care about it. But they basically bully us through the Al Sharptons, the Roland Martins, and these entertainers and everything to get out there and vote. We don't benefit. Can you tell me anything Black America benefit? Black America benefits from the Democratic Party, Jay?
Well, I could give you a bunch. You know what I mean? Like,
What? Name one thing.
but this is the thing. This is the thing. Let me first preface it by saying this, right? I feel like we don't understand fully how American politics work.
We do. I understand 100% how it works.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Because if you're comparing something, right, you have to be comparing it against something else. You can't compare one thing without looking at something else,
Oh no, look,
right?
I realize. Look,
So
look,
for
bro.
instance, one second, brother. For instance, if you say to me that the Democratic Party are using people like Al Sharpton, he's a tool, right?
Yeah.
Then I gotta look at what does Al Sharpton to support, right? And then I got to look at which party most supports what he supports versus does not support what he supports. The push back against affirmative action. If you say affirmative action doesn't benefit white folks, right? Doesn't benefit. Sorry.
Black people.
Doesn't benefit black.
It
folks.
doesn't. It doesn't.
Okay, hold on one second, brother. Hold on one second. If you say it doesn't benefit black folks, which party or which group of people push back most against affirmative action?
Let me tell you.
It was
let me tell you
one
something.
second, brother. One second, brother. I'm
You
gonna
gotta
ask
let
you a
me.
question.
You gotta let me respond. You keep filibustering.
Brother. Let me
Go ahead.
You're gonna
Go
respond.
ahead.
It was the conservative side, the pushback against affirmative action and things like that for years, for decades.
Things like,
Has
hold on.
been
I think
mostly
that
solid. It seemed
on
like
places like your
hold
Fox.
on.
Has
JV.
been mostly one second, mostly on your places like your Fox News, mostly coming out of your southern states.
Are you gonna give me a
right?
chance to respond? You gonna give
Okay,
me a
so
chance
he
to
a
respond?
one-sided brother, so he gonna
Let's
bang
say,
on conservatives all day.
hold
No,
on.
I'm
Let me
saying.
let me
But
respond. Let me respond.
Mike, I don't. But Jay, what's your point? What's
He's
your
very
point?
What I'm
one-sided.
saying
What'd you say?
is you have to compare who supports what. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like Sharpton, the black people you can say, okay, yeah, are Democratic Party politics perfect? No. No human being is perfect, and any institution a human being built is not going to be perfect. That's my stance from the get-go, right? Now, but on the Democratic side, you have more democratic elected officials
Yeah, but
than
look
you
at
have
that keep
Republican
coming
elected
inside.
officials.
I'm trying to. Golly,
Yeah,
Jay,
he keeps talking, man. I couldn't get respond yet. He keeps going on.
I'm trying to hear what he's trying to say. Please, Jay, go. Okay, I lost you at the Democratic. Go ahead and continue.
You have more elected officials that are black or even other races, Chinese, Spanish, whatever.
What does
on
that
the
mean?
Democratic side
What does that
than
mean?
you have on the Republican side.
What does that
right?
mean? What does that mean?
This would mean, right, that as a black person,
Mm-hmm.
you have more say in the Democratic Party than you have in the Republican Party.
You really believe that?
Say to do what? Say to do what?
Bro, this is
Do
the
you see
thing.
these Democratic cities?
Hold on, Jay. Say to do what? Literally,
This is the thing.
I'll give you an example. In California, it was the Black Caucus that shut down the reparations bill.
Yep.
So say to
they
do
sure
what?
did.
Jay,
NAACP too.
these black politicians, they fight more for
Illegal.
illegal immigrants and transgenders than they do for black folks. I don't understand your point.
But again,
You
let's
must
look at
got here with a
reparations
banana
then, since
boat
you
or
brought it
something.
up. Let's look at reparations since you brought it up.
You must got here in a banana
There's
boat.
at least in the Democratic Party a fight on whether black people should get
Oh
reparations.
Lord, they shut it down.
Hold on.
They shut it down.
You're talking in an area that you're not
Hold
from.
on 1 second, brother. Hold on 1 second. On the Republican side, it is not even a discussion. No Republican of any note stands up and says black people should even get reparations.
Well,
It's a non-starter.
hold on. Let me stop you. No, Alan, 1 second. Then I'm gonna
There's
pass
no
it.
HR 40 coming
Jay,
out of
let
the
me
Republican
respond
side.
to you.
Zero.
Let me respond to you. When the Black Caucus shut down reparations, the reparations bill in California, it was actually a Latino Republican that voted for it and wanted to understand why it was shut down.
By the way, there was a reparations bill passed in Evanston, Illinois, right? Already.
Okay.
Right? So you can look at, this is the thing, American politics, it's really, really, really multifaceted. It's not like a simple thing because a president is not a king. He has to go through the House and the Senate, Congress. And then you have courts that have a say too. So, for instance, when Biden passed a bill, the name of the bill is not Help Black Farmers Bill, but that's how it was perceived because it would majority help black people, black farmers who were discriminated against during by the USDA, right? The Republican guys like Stephen Miller, who's now in when he had that interview with Trump and Elon Musk in the Oval Office, Stephen Miller was standing right next to Elon Musk. Those guys put it into the courts, and the courts blocked it from being enforced. Same thing with the student loan forgiveness. Now, just one other thing. So, when you have a thing in America specifically for one group, that's how it's going to be challenged. That's even affirmative action, even though it wasn't specific for one group, it still got challenged, and it took years and years and years, and then the Supreme Court killed it.
Well, the Supreme Court. All right, I got to pass. Let me pass the Wee Winnie. Go ahead, Wee Winnie.
Go ahead.
Okay. So when it comes to the situation at hand, the Farmers Bill, that was a situation for all minority groups. And even when Bill Clinton passed the situation when it came to the Farmers Bill, most black people that were black farmers still got discriminated under a Democratic administration. Last time I checked, Bill Clinton was a Democrat that black people loved. When it comes to the situation of the reparations bill, Dynas is right. Me and Dynas may not necessarily see eye to eye on the situation, but he is right when it comes to that. NAACP blocked it, and the situation of the Congressional Black Caucus blocked the situation before it even got put up on the bill. Now, the scenarios at hand, we have literally funded $15 billion on illegal migrants here in California. Black people make up 33% of the homeless population, while being 9%. The Hispanic population is both 35% of the population in California, but they get most of the benefit when it comes to anything minority-based because they dominate the population roles. So when it comes to scenarios of what Democrats do, they have black talking pieces, black faces on it, but it's always going to go to white women, Hispanics, Asians, Arabs, Indians, 7 groups ahead of black people. So essentially they can kill us off in situations of inclusivity because we'll just give everybody else the pie and just give you 2 to 3%. When it comes to scenarios at hand, the DEI programs, $955 billion was given into DEI programs globally. Black people only got 2% of that situation. 2%. Now, we talk as if we dominate the roles where we got most of the benefit. We talk as if we got most of the benefit, where the average straight black man cannot be able to get a grunny when it comes to these programs unless he's rainbow affiliated or he has his wife that is a black woman or a white woman, preferably a white woman, that can be able to get access to the situation. Now, when it comes to everything at hand, Brother Ja, I don't know what kind of banana boat that you came from, but respectfully, black Americans don't benefit from the situation of the Democratic Party. More than anything, black immigrants benefit the most.
Exactly.
A black immigrant will benefit the most over a black American freedman, whatever the situation that you want to call yourselves now these days. So I'm just going to end it here. When it comes to these talking points that you're having, black people has literally got less than 5% of any of these programs. Asian people, when affirmative action, when it came to the colleges, Asian people is mainly out there. Is that telling you something that all these programs is literally using your black face, your black pain to get everybody else ahead? And I yield my mic.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely 100% right. We winning. That's what it is. And what happens is now, like to Nigel's point, Black America's tired. We're tired. We're not fools. We see every time there's something going on. Like I know what's going to happen is we're going to have another police shooting, instigated by the liberals. Probably they have to pay some cop to shoot a black kid. Said we need Negroes out here rioting and everything like that. So you're going to shoot that dude when he comes out of there with orange juice in his hand. And then we're gonna call Ben Crump, call Al Sharpton. Next thing you know, everybody's all amped up, but that's not even working no more. Because black people looked at we rioted, did all that stuff years ago, and police reform never got passed. The police George Floyd bill never got passed. None of the stuff like that. But the thing is, people like Nancy Pelosi gained, the Democrats gained, and we elected Joe Biden. Black people are like, you mean tell me they use our motion to go out there, even cheat on the voter rolls. Black people were so adamant about getting Trump out of office, right? Because we were so amped up that we were participating in the rigging of election. You seen black workers up in Michigan stuffing ballots. I saw it with my own eyes. You know, Philadelphia, black people were in there doing it. Same thing with Georgia. So we did something really bad. We basically help fix an election, right, in this country, right? And with the help of white liberals and everything like that, because they know they can always count on us to do deviant shit, right? And then we elected Joe Biden. And when people saw the cognitive dissonance, this guy, the open borders, and it's like that, people are like, what the hell did we do? Black people said that. What the hell did we do? We got people coming into this country disrespecting us, right? People come here, don't belong here, don't have citizenship, but yet they feel like they're superior to the people here because we brought them here. You know?
Sardo, no, Sardo. I didn't say that most of you guys benefited from it. I said a situation of every other group benefited from the scenario of DEI and affirmative action. Didn't you hear me say literally the Asian, the white woman, the Hispanic, the Arab, the Indian? They don't even necessarily want people from Nigeria to come in America. Even Joe Biden made it very adamant to keep that situation tightly regulated. So respectfully, sir, now you're misconstruing the situation, what I'm saying. And for one thing's for certain, I don't even fuck with these FBA dudes, FBA or ADOS people. I'm just keeping a buck of what the statistics literally said. 75% of white women got minority funded grants and business loans in 2020,
Exactly.
the year of George
Always been
Floyd.
like that. It's always been
The,
like that.
the year of Floyd, 75% of white women benefited from the situation. So like I said, black people will do a great job making sure that white people benefit. That's for certain. Keep on arguing like this, we'll make sure that white people and white women benefit the most of these programs. That's what I'm saying, Sardo. And even you admitted to my point when you literally said that they have an email from the WikiLeaks situation directly. Don't give the black community nothing. Don't promise nothing. Just speak around. Just have the I feel your pain. And everybody literally says it from the DNC, no matter if it's Kamala Harris or Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden or Bill Clinton. I feel your pain. Don't guarantee anything. So that's what I'm saying. Because I'm not mad at the people from the continent or the Caribbean becoming doctors and people that are involved in high education. My thing is, why is you supporting a party that literally makes it rough for anybody that's black here in America? Mind you, Democratic Party don't even believe in gun rights. How does that help you? How does that help you help your family? No matter if you're a black American, black Caribbean, black African, if you're here in the United States, you are supposed to have your Second Amendment rights. And you know that bullshit doesn't go to Jamaica because Jamaica is very conservative. You have any kind of gay people over there, they will literally put you in a damn, they'll put you in a damn, they'll put you literally up under the bridge and
They
light you
call
on
you body
fire.
boy. Body boy.
They
Batty
will
boy.
literally kill you.
They call you
So I
body
don't
boy.
see how you can come here, be liberal, but when you go to your country, everybody's ultra conservative. I don't understand that. Just because the Democratic Party allows the globe to come into America, that doesn't mean that you should side with anything, any and everything that the ideologies come in. Because that gay shit doesn't play around in Jamaica. They will literally kill you. They will literally kill you for being that situation. You go to the continent of Africa, they will literally slice your body up and lit you in fire if they find out that you are, I'm not gonna say the F word, but if you are a Curio. So the situation at hand, I don't see how people can be liberal in one moment, then when they go to their country, they ultra conservative, they side with the party that literally has funded coups. We have literally seen that America has literally funded Boko Haram, but you're supporting the party that funded Boko Haram. Who's the real anti-black?
Hey,
Who's the real sellout?
so don't be fooled, by the way, right?
Who's the
All
real
these
sellout?
countries you're talking about, just because you mentioned it, I'll bring it up. All these countries you're talking about with gay people can't do this and that in these countries, all them countries you mentioned, I don't know about all of them, but I know for sure in the Caribbean, including Jamaica, they're openly gay people and people know them and they're walking around living
Don't
their
they call him
lives.
body boy? Don't they? What about
Yes,
body boy?
there are, you know, people say certain negative things,
Y'all
and
very
yes,
conservative in that area.
I'm not saying no violence occurs in that situation, right?
Plenty of violence.
But everybody knows somebody gay in those societies.
And Jay Sanders, who the hell you calling a dumbass, man?
You see what I'm saying? So don't be fooled. But the other thing is too, if you look at, say, a Jamaica, what's the US dollar exchange rate to Jamaica? Right? So being conservative against gays ain't helping the exchange rate. It ain't helping fixing the roads. It ain't helping get rid of the slums and providing better health care and things like that, right? So sometimes we're looking at these things and saying, oh, but that ain't gonna do nothing for you, bro. That ain't gonna feed you.
Jay
That ain't gonna
Sanders,
clothe you.
respectfully, you're gonna need to come up on the stage, man. You're gonna have to
You
really
know what I
come up
mean?
on the stage because I don't see how we're clashing when we literally agree on the same shit.
Who you talking about? Somebody else?
I'm talking about Jay Sanders in the chat. Respectfully, Jai, keep on going.
All right, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying on that, you know? I'm just saying that American politics, look, I agree with Colin with one thing when he says that white folks primarily are the number one voters in this country as a percentage. They have the biggest vote, right? So when laws are going to be passed or things are going to be changed, right? Primarily at this current time is going to come through them majority, right? It's going to come through them. And so what they desire to see is what's going to happen because they have the numbers. You see what I'm saying? So when you pass laws in America, it's a tricky thing. It's not just as simple as we think, you know, like the money for the black farmers, you know.
You keep talking about the black farmers, man. Most of the people that benefited from that was Latino farmers. They're the main ones that's literally doing this situation.
Let me pass the mic to Theo. Go ahead, Theo.
Hey, good evening or good afternoon. I just had a couple questions. One question was, would the panel agree that America was largely founded on people escaping religious persecution, and by extension, escaping conservative values of the day of their countries of origin? The second question is, out of all the hills to fight on or to have a battle, why spend so much time on the homosexual front? Like, why is that diametrically opposed to the rights of African Americans if other people, namely homosexuals, receive rights in that same process or progress? So why, and I don't know, I don't want to single out anyone when I ask that question, but why should African Americans spend so much time and energy worried about that issue when there's so many issues? Like, how is that?
The problem is when you're lumping it in with our children in schools, that's a problem.
That's
a fucking problem. Do you want your son to be a faggot? No.
Now, let me ask you a question. Do you feel like your sexuality is up for negotiation? Do you feel like you can be persuaded to be a homosexual? Wait. Do you feel like you could have been persuaded to be a homosexual? Like, are you only a straight male because you could
be persuaded? No, I couldn't be persuaded.
No, could you have been? Like, did you happen? Wait, did you happen to become a straight male, or were you a straight male? Like, was there a point in your life where you had to make a decision, and you could have, if the right person would have came along, been persuaded to be homosexual?
It's Theo, let me say this, right? Let me say this.
No, that's a serious question. I really want.
We got
That's a good question, man. That's a good question.
I don't get it. I
Let me
really don't.
we winning. Let me have this for a second. Let me have this. Okay, back in the days, right? Back in the days, this is the problem what we have right now. Back in the days, do you know some of our top educators were homosexual? Langston Hughes,
James Baldwin.
James Baldwin, right? Alex
Okay.
Haley, right? Right now, think you hear where I'm coming with this, right? Those men still fought for the what was best for the Black America, which was the Black family,
Okay.
Black survival. The homosexual now is only about his deviancy, his sexual desire, his appetite. I listen to them talk and whatnot. They want to talk about their children, preying on children, women and whatnot, putting dresses on so they can go in women's bathroom. These are deviants, and so
Well,
the
can't you
difference.
Thank
speak to
you.
deviants? But
So
can't you
look, no, no,
separate?
no, no, no,
Oh,
no.
wait.
Hold on,
Can't you
no, I
separate
can't. No, I
the
can't
deviants?
separate. Hold on, I can't separate because the gay community, LGBTQ, has decided not to. That's why they got the LGBTQ,
But
because
can
that
you do it
includes
though?
all the deviants. When you say queer, let's not say gay. That's all the deviants put together when they say don't make any judgments about sexuality. Let me tell you something,
Now, are you
brother.
saying all homosexuals are deviant?
No, I'm saying
Brother, are you one? Are you one?
they created the
If it would
sanctuary.
be my business,
Hold on, hold on,
I would say
hold on.
that.
Look. Let me say this. The LGBTQ created a sanctuary for deviancy, right? So therefore, I can judge them as a group, right? It
Hmm.
used to be a time if somebody was gay, they kept it to themselves. Hey, he's gay. Okay, it's fine. I have family members that are gay. Fine with us. But when you go to a movement like when you're gonna have your own flag and stuff like that, this umbrella of deviancy and whatnot, and then everybody that comes to that movement, now next thing you know, they're gonna be bringing in people who practice bestiality. That's coming next. A
Yeah,
society has
so it was a gateway.
a society has a
But
right
that's
to
your own
judge.
Liberalism has
imagination, though.
destroyed the
No,
black
no, no, no,
community.
no.
A
Look,
part of
no.
that is your own imagination. You're
Anytime a
Liberalism has
projecting.
man,
destroyed the
look.
black
Bottom line is this.
community,
Well,
boy.
you know something, we're gonna stop it
And
now.
listen. The
It's
only
never
reason
gonna
I
get
asked
to that
this
point
question,
because we're gonna stop
Kyler,
it now.
I
Liberalism
know,
has
but Kyler,
destroyed the black
the
man.
reason why I asked this question, man, is because there's so many real issues, man.
No, that is
And
a real
okay,
issue.
That is a
That
real
is a real
issue, man.
issue.
You
That
get
is
you
a real issue.
so what?
That is a real
Within that,
issue.
Hold on.
hold on. Give me a second. Within that, right? You pointed out some things that are real issues, but homosexuality alone, like continuing to tackle, like you
Oh yeah,
tackle
but
the
hold
deviant.
on. Let me ask you a question,
But
Theo. Let me ask you a question. Then why is it
go
that
ahead.
there was a gay community that gave so much pushback when Donald Trump says a male is two genders, male and female, right? If you're a homosexual male, you're still a male, right? Why did they give such pushbacks against men, grown ass men playing in little girl sports, whatnot? See, the bottom line, you guys basically want to talk this. Oh, right, virtual signaling, man. Nobody wants to pick on gays.
Listen,
It's not a
no.
point.
I can
But you
understand.
guys,
I can understand. There
you
are.
guys support that deviant stuff. You know, men's playing in women's sports, going to women's shower is deviancy. You
That's
know,
not deep.
this what
Okay, the women's shower maybe, but sports. Come on, man. That's
yo,
such
yo,
a very
you're
like.
telling me,
Hold
you're
on. So,
telling me
hold on, Colin.
grown ass.
Hold on, Colin. So,
Theo
Theo, you're
got his
telling
rainbow
me, hold on,
flag.
you're telling me men playing sports with women is not deviant? Like,
I just don't, because I don't take a
so
moral.
Juana
I
man,
don't think.
That's
Okay,
because he ain't got no fucking
come
children. Ain't no
on,
way he
man.
no.
got
So,
children
Donnie, so
talking
let
like
me get you
this.
to understand this. I think sports to a degree is a trivial thing. As much as it's an integral part of human activity.
Theo, let me ask
I
you a
just
question.
don't.
Theo, let me
Okay,
ask you,
go ahead.
should a man be able to play in the WNBA?
Let him tell it. Yeah.
Yeah, in general, no, I don't think it's fair. Do I think there are plenty of women who have beat a slew of guys' ass in sports fighting? And yeah, there's some guys on this panel that a woman could whoop their ass right now. I mean, and I don't say that like picking at anybody, but let's be real. All things aren't created
And
equal. I mean, there's a reason why there's weight class when it comes to
ain't
fighting.
no women beating a real man. Trust me, it's not
Man, come
happening.
on, man. You know there's some women out there that'll beat a
Bro, this
guy's
is
ass.
I
insane.
did club security for years. I never
No,
seen
no,
that happen.
Kyler. I get what you're
I
saying
did
in
club
general,
security
right?
for years, bro.
Yeah,
I worked with some of
uh,
the toughest dudes out there, and they know way when you got
the
real men
toughest.
that's
Yeah,
trying to,
but I'm saying if
that's
you
not going
take
to
the
happen, bro.
toughest, but if you take pound for pound,
No, it's not gonna
You
be
can't
pound for
say,
pound
wait,
nothing.
listen to me, listen to me,
Ain't no
listen to
women
me.
get beat no
We
man
know,
in no sports, man. No,
listen
like
to me, bro. We know that a woman can beat a man in fighting. That's not
no,
even.
I
I've
don't know.
seen it
Maybe they
with
could
my
beat
own
your
eyes.
ass.
Oh
Maybe
my
they could
fucking
beat
god!
Probably
you.
there's a woman out there that could probably beat my ass. Maybe,
I'm saying,
maybe.
See,
I
we
maybe
mean,
have
a sad. That's a
exposed
sad
we have
it
case.
ain't a.
exposed the insanity of liberal Negroes right here.
No,
We
it
have
ain't
Yeah, maybe
insane,
a
exposed the
man.
sad
You
case.
guys
insanity.
are insane. You guys are insane because
You
reality
know what? You know what?
dictates
I need you
that
to say this out in
there
public,
are women, there are
Theo.
women on this earth who can be. It's not like you're gonna
Theo,
take a
you
Okay,
guy
started
that's
to show your thong
Theo,
now.
fucking.
Theo. With
You
that,
started to show your
I gotta
thong
go,
now.
man. Diane, you guys give me.
Hey,
You
can I
guys give
say
me that.
something?
Well,
Hello?
hold on. It's not your turn yet. Let me pass it to Mr. Sandman. Go ahead, Mr. Sandman.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the conversation went to homosexuality, but I was looking at the title of the show, and from my understanding, Elon Musk used to be a part of the Democratic Party, but he got disenfranchised by that party because one of his children had transitioned from a male to a female, and I think he was pretty upset about that for whatever reason. But yeah, as far as like the homosexual, I'm genuinely against it. You know, genuinely against teaching that to kids because I believe kids are impressionable. Luckily for me, you know what I mean. In raising my kids, you know what I'm saying, none of them have had that issue where they've been trying to indoctrinate my kids into, you know, becoming a homosexual. I think that's in certain areas, but you know, the bottom line is really the bottom line is, you know, the homosexuals, they make more money than heterosexual people appears. You know, if you was to go to New York City, you know what I'm saying, that's the hub of a lot of financial wealth in this country. That's a pro homosexual city. Uh, if you was to go to San Francisco, whole lot of homosexuals out there too in California, and you know that's one of the biggest. That state has one of the biggest GDPs in the whole entire world. So I mean, I guess
Hey, but
just
that
the
points to
money.
like the problem is that you can't qualify a person based off their sexuality, right? In society, if you build your society based on excluding people based on sexuality, you're probably excluding a lot of intelligence, a lot of know-how, a lot of talent, a lot of skill, right? So
Theo, can I
I
ask you a
just think
Oh
question?
I,
my
I
No,
just
god!
no,
think
no,
that's
no,
that's the
no, no,
problem with it.
no
Oh
one's
my
saying that.
god!
Dinus, can I
I
ask
didn't
him a
say it.
question question real real quick, please?
The thing is,
Hold on, Bandit.
homosexual people, they don't have to worry about raising a family, so they can focus on their craft more so than
They can save
heterosexual people that
money
have children to raise.
because
So
children
they put
cost
like a
money.
lot of effort into whatever it is that they're doing, and I think that's why they make more money than heterosexual people. I don't necessarily think
You
that they
saying they make more money or save more money? Which one?
All right, let me say
both.
They do
let me say
Well,
both.
this
no,
real
hold on,
quick.
hold on, well, hold on. We got an order. So, Mr. Sandman, are
Oh
you
my
done?
bad.
No, I just wanted to say one last thing in response to what he was saying that yeah, you can uh you can't disregard someone based on their sexual orientation. Also, if we're talking about taxes and the homosexuals are paying taxes in this country,
Well,
then
I never
there's
said,
no
I never,
taxation without representation. So you can't just say homosexuals have no rights and then
who
take
said
federal
that?
taxes from them.
Who said that? Who said they had no rights? Who said that? Who
Nobody
said?
never said that.
Nobody never said that. Nobody said disregard them. Who never said? Who said that?
No, I'm not saying disregard them. I'm just saying they
That's
have
what
a
you.
right as an
That's what
American
you just said,
citizen,
though,
That's what
brother.
as a
That's what you
tax-paying
said.
American citizen to
That's what you just
Oh
said.
dear
That's what you
God.
just said. That's what you just said.
Next caller.
Yeah, Go ahead, Bandit.
Yeah, I got a question. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I got a question that Theo mentioned. He said that we were excluding homosexuals or something like that.
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying you can't exclude them. I mean, now you might not even that might not be
Yeah.
objective, but someone mentioned something about the culture in Jamaica about if someone's like that they'll X the
Well,
person and so
My
when you hear
argument
talk
was,
like
how
that,
can
it's like
immigrants be
yeah.
that's a
lucrative
little
Hold on,
backwards.
whoa,
serving
whoa.
their country?
Let Bandit go ahead, Bandit.
So my thing is this, because where I was getting based on what you said, I couldn't hear because I was dealing with some stuff. But based on presumption,
Um, Based on your presumption, I was just asking, how can we say that about LGBTQs when LGBTQs, I mean, when the Black Lives Matter literally took $90 million from LGBTQs, I mean, $90 million from blacks and gave them to LGBTQ programs. We
No,
say,
no, they
hey,
took,
don't
no, they,
exclude
no,
them,
no,
but
no,
they
no, no,
excluded
no,
us.
no, no. They took the money for. They got the. It was primarily white donors, but they were very clear in their mission statement how they were against traditional families.
Yeah, they excluded the traditional family.
What was your question? What I'm trying to understand your question.
How could we talk about not excluding heterosexuals when they excluded us?
Listen, a few actors, I mean, in any culture or sexual orientation doesn't necessarily
But that's the
account for
entire group.
everyone. That's but yeah, that's well. Listen, I ain't gonna
BLM,
argue
that's
that
the
because I
entire
think that's
group. They don't
foolish
fuck with
to
regular
even
straight
believe
men.
that.
Hey, let them answer. We win. Go ahead, Theo.
No, I just think yeah, you're gonna have bad actors in all from all walks of life. I don't think I think that's part of the
Because
struggle that in the world we live in is coming to a place where we can not use this paintbrush to broadly paint a group of people based on a few. That has historically led to discrimination, racism, prejudice, and the ideas of white supremacy. I believe the idea of supremacy comes from a few highly intelligent geniuses in Europe who made great advancements in society, right? Becoming the so-called prototype for what it is to be white, when really all white people aren't geniuses, right? All white people aren't dumb. There are contributions from everyone, every walk of life, and there are people who detract from humanity from every walk of life, right? So I don't think you can paint everybody with a broad brush just because they share some type of commonality. And I think that's what happens a lot, right? And I think
but don't you think
part of
that I'm sorry if I interrupt you, but don't you think blacks are allowed to have a response to the fact they were taken advantage of by every other
yeah,
minority during the
Thank
Biden
but
you.
era?
see,
So
it's
like
like
I don't
it's like if
understand
you got a
how
target.
Thank
like
you.
everyone makes this when we have a case to make against that. I'm not saying that we have to be any types of phobic, but like when you're pushing stuff on our kids and then using our skin color as a mantle to get to where you are, but not contributing nothing to the black community, why why shouldn't we exclude you?
He must be one. At this point, he must be one. Sir,
Hey,
are you
listen,
part of the Rainbow
if I was,
Initiative?
bro, I would like to think that I
Are
would
you
be
one?
proud as the
Are
proudest
you
of them.
one? Are you
If
gay,
I
sir?
was, I would like
Are
to
you?
think I would like to think that I would be as proud as the proudest of them. So
Well, it seemed like you proud.
whoever,
You the one
whatever
with
I
the
am,
uniform. You the
no,
one
because
fighting
guess
for
what?
him.
I'm not a selfish,
Let me.
self-centered person.
Oh dear
So
God!
let me
Not
say
the
something
I can
here.
have
bullshit.
empathy. I can have empathy,
Are you gay, sir?
sympathy. And,
Let me
Yes or
say
bro, what
no?
something
does it
here.
matter to you? What does it
Let me
matter to
say
you?
let me
Because you
say
defending
something.
them
Let me
so
say something
hard.
here, man. Let me say something here.
You defending
So
some
Does
so
it? What?
tough.
Okay,
let me say something
So
here.
tough.
So check this
go
out,
ahead.
right? So
Ja is just a delusional
so
Democrat. It seemed
so
like
check
you're
this
part of the
out.
Rainbow
You
Initiative.
see, and this is the issue. You see, with your line of argumentation, you call people names and all this
You
type of
did the
stuff.
same shit. You did the same shit.
I did not say call you one name yet. I called no one on this
You did
panel a
the
name.
same shit.
I called no one on this panel a name. The only thing I did, I look up sources and I say how the American system works. Now,
You wasn't even giving us a great interpretation.
here's where we're going, bro. I'm done with that. So here we go. So what I'm gonna say, because we're kind of off on this homosexual thing, which I really don't care that much, honestly. But in
But
1900,
you don't
right?
understand that you're lumping
Here's
in
I'm bringing
every
sources.
single
I'm
initiative
bringing
to
numbers and
dilute
sources,
the
and you can look
black
it up yourself, right?
cause.
You can look it up yourself. Hold on. In 1900, right, the estimated human population, global human population was 1 billion. Today, the global population is 8 billion. The projection is by 2050 or before, we'll get to 9 billion. From the beginning of time, since humans been around, you always had homosexuals. You get what I'm saying? So even though homosexuals have been around, our population has steadily grown. So that's my first point. So us talking about civilization ending and all that because of it is not, because it's always been there, and humans are still here. So it's a waste of time. That's what I'm saying.
Can
Now,
I add
now,
some?
now,
Can I add? Come on, man. You've been talking. Let me add something.
One second. Let me say this. Let me say this. What I would like to know from We Winning,
Yes.
right, is if he had control of if he was a king, which America doesn't have a king or should not, right? Because the system of king and dictatorships is worse. You're going to get worse results on everything, right? Now, but if you had that option and you were the king, what would you do to all these homosexuals, trans, and all that?
The thing is, take the literature out of our schools. We have My Furry Balls that's co-signed by your boy Cory Booker. My Furry Balls is co-signed in schools in New Jersey when it comes to books in the libraries for kids that are literally under 15 years old.
Can I say something real quick?
No, you can't. Whoa, no. Do not be quiet. We wouldn't go ahead. I'm gonna pass it to you guys.
My Furry Balls. How is
my
that
bad.
educational? How does that help? My thing is get the curriculum out to schools. I don't care what the fuck you do, but don't think that gay rights is black rights, because mind you, these gay white liberals like to cozy up with black people and say that gay rights is black rights because I'm disenfranchised just like you, meaning that the money gets diluted, $20 billion go out the window, and they literally then manage to psyop every situation that goes. It comes in black, then it leaves out rainbow. That's the only thing I'm saying. I don't want to kill nobody. I don't want to hurt nobody. I just want the situation of leave the literature out of our children. And I'm done.
Let me pass it to Nigel. Go ahead, to Nigel.
Thank you. Regarding what the gentleman said about, gays always been around in societies from time immemorial, that may be true, but societies' culture and rules were heavily favored, that's tilted towards the heterosexual relationship. So it wasn't tilted towards the the gay kind of this in practice, in other words. So, but what I noticed in the last, maybe decade or so, there has been a kind of marked, intensification of this promotion of, LGBTQ community that, and that's what rubs people off the wrong way. And there are certain things that are being done that are outside the norm. Like they are talking about even having people undergo sex affirmative action, kind of like, that was start carrying out and gender changes without permission of the parents. It's like, what is that? You can't start doing stuff, changing someone's child's gender without permission from the parents. Like California has a rule that if you can come there and seek gender switching, I don't know what they call it, this in
reassignment surgery.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. It's crazy. Then you go on and you start seeing the kind of stuff they are doing in sports. You have it's a tiny population. Let's not forget the LGBTQ community. They make up about maybe 7%. Then in that 7%, we are talking about more than half of them are bisexual people, and then that small population is causing so much chaos in a machine that is generated about 8 billion people in the world today, as the other gentleman said. So you can see why that people are pushing back and saying, no, this is not acceptable. You can't just come with a tiny minority. We have to kowtow to everything you do. Like when you watch TV programs now, it's like you would think they are 50% of the population. The way they are carrying on in the population, it's like that. It's a tiny group. Fine, let them do whatever they want to do. They have their rights. Don't go and start messing with sports, toilets, children's rights, all that stuff. It's crazy. It's almost as if you're trying to indoctrinate people into that way of life. When you start going to schools and start telling them you can change your gender, you can refer to me as they. This is crazy. Why do they call a human being they? What does that even mean? we are losing our mind. The people that are psychologically flawed, instead of them to go and get psychological help, they start saying they should call them whatever they like. I can say that you should call me the president. What is that? Am I going to call you president? You have to now later. There has to be rules that we have to adhere to. That is where I have an issue with them. It's not that I have issue with individuals that that have this that maybe they want to be gay, they want to be whatever they want to be. I don't have any issue with individuals, but the way they are pushing it societally, that's the one I have an issue with, because and I can see that that's what people are reacting to. Thank you.
So this is the thing. The problem we're having here, right, is the United States Constitution. You see what I'm saying? That's what you guys are arguing against in a sense, because the United States Constitution says you have the freedom to essentially require or have your government address grievances, say to your government, hey, this is what I want, essentially. The freedom to speak. Humans have the freedom to speak, the freedom to assemble. All these things are
Not a freedom to touch my
in the
child.
amendments, right? And so this is the thing. In America, because it's a free society based on our United States Constitution, you are going to hear all kinds of arguments that you agree
Not
with
the freedom
or
to touch my
disagree
child.
with. You see what I'm saying? And so this is how the system was set up. This is what it is. And I like that system. Because you have people that are arguing, hey, Second Amendment means everybody could have a gun. Some people might say, hey, everybody can have a tank if they want. If you want a tank, you can get a tank. If you want an anti-aircraft missile, you can have it. Then you might have people that say, hey, it just means a gun. Some people might be saying, hey, it's a militia. You have to be in a militia, a well-regulated
Like somebody
militia.
in the chat just said, we have the freedom not to have it pushed against us too.
That's what it says. You also have that freedom to talk out against it. And so this is the thing that's happening, I think. These people that are in that community, right? They are expressing themselves saying, this is what we want. And then they have supporters and you have people against it. And that's all it is. I personally, I don't take it that seriously. You see what I'm saying? Because I know that human populations have consistently grown throughout human time, and we have always had these people around. So for me, I don't spend my time wasting on that.
But
I'm
it
more
wasn't
worried about,
forced
hey,
where you
I'm
have to
more
be in
worried
the
about,
bathroom with somebody, man.
I'm more worried about, can individuals and humans get like economics, like get better economics, get better
But
healthcare,
they use
get
the
better
money to
infrastructure,
help
that
their
type of stuff.
economics.
What?
We passing a free game. Go ahead, free
Like
game.
I said, man, these people leverage every single money is to go to their initiative. $10
This
billion
is like
with the
saying the
BLM. How
Jews
much
are
money
the Jews do
has that went
everything.
to the black
This is like
community?
that Nazi argument where Hitler
No,
said,
let
"Oh,
me
the Jews."
pass it to free.
It
Let me
is
pass.
not a
Let me.
Nazi
I
argument.
gotta pass the mic. Go ahead, free game. Go ahead, free game. I'll meet yourself, free game.
See, that's why the argument. That's why the argument needs to be. Well, this is why I think that homosexuality needs to be treated as a disability. You need to be, when you go on a job, you need to be labeled as disabled, like it was in the beginning. It was a disability, it was a mental health issue. Hold on. It needs to be labeled as a disability because there's no way that you can humanly possibly think that you are a female and you obviously a male, or vice versa. So it needs to be labeled as a disability.
If I could push back, not every homosexual thinks they're the opposite sex.
No, they don't.
They don't, but the consequence, we still have to bear the consequences. And the consequences is a lot of those people are, if they're not mentally ill, they are contacting what's the highest level, who's the group with the highest levels of STDs? That group. So they become wards of the state when they have to get on disability and can't work. So it leads back to the same thing 9 times out of 10. These people are in, and I heard someone say that they make more money. That's not true at all. If
I can interject, I know gay men have the most disposable income. I don't know if that means make more money, but they have the most disposable income. That's a fact.
Blacks have the most disposable income, and they don't make the most. Diners,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's because gay
Like I
people don't
said,
have
that's
children.
why I said it doesn't mean they make the most, but they have the most disposable income.
Yeah, but people don't talk about. There's a lot of that population that's on welfare. If, for instance, black women are the highest level that have the highest percentage of any homosexual group in America. A lot of those people are on welfare. A lot of those people are sick. A lot of those people aren't in the economic sector pushing, Fortune 500 companies. They're not. They're not. So it needs to be labeled.
I got to push back again. Tim Cook is of Apple. He's openly gay, and he's the head of the largest company on the planet.
Dynast, that's Tim Cook. That's one person. You're not talking about the petroleum company. You're not talking about the lubrication company that provides for the petroleum company. You're not talking about you're not talking about the heavy machinery companies. You're not. It's so many other companies other than Apple that's represented by majority straight people. These people are, a lot of the times, if you ever go down to Atlanta, you will see, it's obvious. A lot of black women living off the system, gay. A lot of black men living are sick, hepatitis, HIV. A lot of these people are living off the system. I have a cousin that works in a hospital. Some of the most horrific cases. They've been working in the hospital for 20 years. Some of the most horrific cases they get are from this group, and they can't work. They can't work at all. They're living off the government. But that's all I have to say.
Okay. Go ahead, Lewis. You gotta unmute yourself.
No, I thought I didn't know I was muted. Listen, man. Listen, the worst thing black people in America ever done is allow the Democratic Party to equate the black struggle with homosexuals.
Thank you.
The worst thing you ever done. All them Democrats who allow that shit, they shouldn't be allowed to speak for black people ever again. And Kamala Harris is one of the bitches who done that. Obama was one of the bastards who done that. Okay, you allow our struggle to be equal to a homosexual. So now what happens? You put it under equality and all that rubbish. He turns up and Trump puts a pen in it and cancels all your gains, cancels everything. He probably didn't want to get to black people, but guess what? You've equaled yourself with those stupid Democrats. So now he cancels everything and you go in with it. And you had a nerve to put a black woman in front, what pressing false charges against the man. So now the guy's mad. Black people allow that shit to happen in America. Okay, so everything we get now, when it comes to these homosexuals, they ain't your friend, they just using you, pacifying you. They want from black flesh. So I'm sorry. The current leadership has done it to themselves.
And Dynast, just because you have a certain level of success, don't mean you're not sick in the head. You see autistic people all the time are very intelligent, but that don't mean they don't have a disability. A lot of these people have a mental disability. To think that you just is a lot of people that don't think they're.
Let me say this. I'm gonna assume, because I can speak for myself, that there aren't any homosexuals on this panel, and I just think, to be fair, I think somebody of the community should be able to come on and I guess defend or speak or push back against what anybody's saying that they disagree with. I just think that's the fair thing. That's why I kind of want to shift topics. I just think that's the fair thing to do.
And one more thing, nice. We have a right to associate or disassociate with any group of people. Civil rights, as you know it, was a ploy to for all this liberal shit that's going on. Just because you're gay don't mean I have to associate with you. Don't mean the black community have to associate with you. Like God, the guy said before, they disassociated with us. They used their First Amendment right to disassociate with us. They did not protect the black family. They did not protect the nuclear family. So why do we are forced to accept their bullshit or accept that they want to work with us? They want to do this. They didn't do the same for us. They did not protect us at all. So we have the right to push back on them and not associate with them at all. And also, we have the right to vote. We have the right to vote, okay, whether I want to deal with these group of people or not. For instance, in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, these white people was tired of black people messing up the community. The white people started a vote and say, hey, this our part of town and this gonna be your part of town. We had a right to do that.
Hey, let me add this to the discourse. And I get your sentiments, Dynas, but I would like to say part of having this discussion isn't a large part of it is it boils down to human rights, right? So in that sense, I think that's where we can, discuss these issues, even without including people from a particular community.
Right.
Because
I'll say this. I see the humanity in everyone. Where I draw the line when it comes to this conversation is a man is a man, a woman is a woman. That's where I draw the line at. But as far as your lifestyle, you still my brother, you still my sister. I see the humanity in everything in everyone. That's right. But again, I just when it comes to the men being women, women being men, that's where no.
Well, listen, they're gonna push it and they're gonna push it and push it. When they started it a couple of years back, they just wanted to be recognized. Within less than 2 years, they went from being recognized to full-blown marriages. Now in England, very soon I'm expecting the Church of England. They haven't done it yet because they're scared of the blacks in Africa ain't gonna follow them. Very soon the Church of England are gonna force every clergy to marry same sex. That's what's coming next year in England. Okay, this is not listen. This is properly organized crime against humanity.
Okay, that last part you said, they're gonna force people.
By the way, there are no Democrats. There are no Democrats over in England, right? And he's saying this. What did he say the laws over there are again?
So say it again, brother. I didn't hear you properly.
What are the laws in England again on transgender?
In England, very soon they're going to announce. The Church of England going to announce same-sex marriages in the church.
Get married in England?
Sorry?
Can homosexuals get married in England?
Of course they do. The same time as you guys done it. Same time they done it here. The same people organizing it.
1 second. Are people jumping on boats from different parts of Africa and the Middle East and different parts of the world trying to get to England, the homosexual place?
No, they'll be all coming here for economic reasons. Okay, but they have what they do now.
Right? They're coming, right? From places.
I can give a better example.
Right. They've been trying to get to us for a long time, and they've been successful in setting up places in Africa who are advocating for this nonsense. But because of the way we are in Africa, they dare not raise their heads. They dare not raise their head.
What I'm saying to you is the fact that a place has homosexual rights, right, does not. They have better economics in those places than the places these people are running from where they don't have those rights. That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is,
listen, it's got nothing to do.
Is a waste of time in a sense. It's like we're wasting our time instead of arguing on economics and infrastructure and all this stuff. We're talking about homosexuality. That's what the leaders in these countries use. They're like, oh, look at the homosexual, look at the homosexual. Meanwhile,
no, brother, listen.
Yeah, what's the fear? What's the fear, man?
Listen, when you allow them to equate human rights as homosexual rights, you're done.
That's human rights.
That's what they're pushing. That's what they're pushing.
Are we
Okay,
gonna
that's not human
forget the
rights.
fact that
That's
the Biden
sexual right. No, that's not
administration
human
put
rights.
sanctions on places like Ghana? I mean, like Uganda, because they passed anti homosexual laws.
Right?
Are we
What?
gonna
I love
ignore the
no,
fact
no.
that in Canada right of now they said if you misgender somebody, so if you misgender somebody, that you could go to jail for that? Are we gonna forget all those things? Because
Anybody. Right? No, 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 no. Listen. No.
JA says simply that, oh, we're not arguing infrastructure. Okay, Jay, let me ask you this. Why is it that we're finding out by the US aid group that our taxpayer money is going to LGBTQ programs across the world? That
Of
doesn't make
course,
any sense.
because that's what they're
Hey,
pushing.
brother,
That's what they're
That
pushing.
doesn't make any
That's
sense.
their aim.
We're talking about, no, we know. We don't care what you do in your bedroom. Nobody cares about that. What we care about is you're taking money out of my pocket and out of the pockets of other people, even other black folks, to cut the rights of black countries like Uganda, or go after places like Ghana, or go to places in Pakistan and Afghanistan to help LGBTQ stuff. That doesn't
Right.
make any sense whatsoever.
Right.
We're not talking about if you want to have sex with
Hear me,
somebody,
brother.
go do it. But
Brother,
don't go in and
brother.
tell the regular
I hear
let
you.
me
person to
say
go take his
this.
taxpayer
The
money
point I'm
and
making
send it
is
overseas to something that has nothing to do with them.
Let me say
thank you.
this.
Listen, the point I'm trying to make,
USAID,
brother, is right. Well, the point I'm trying to
USAID.
make is they would do anything and anything to push their agenda because the homosexual spirit is a forceful spirit. It forces itself on people. You see the friendly face. Very soon they're going to be raping your ass, and they're going to do it by law. You wait until it carries on without being challenged. Thank God Trump came in for that. Thank God. I think he's your last saving grace.
Yeah, so a Pan-Africanist like Louis, right, is saying, thank God Trump signed whatever on the gender stuff, right?
I
And
don't agree with him on
but you're
South
not
Africa
gonna
though.
say, are you gonna say also, thank God Trump got rid of USAID, which is providing tuberculosis medicines
Absolutely.
to
Absolutely.
Yep, we can do it ourselves. Yep,
and AIDS
we can do
meds.
it ourselves.
So
Yes, we don't
all
need
the
it. We
people,
don't need no aid
Absolutely.
made
okay.
nothing.
So all the
Yes,
Just keep the
people
white
that
yes.
are
man
gonna
out. We'll be all
die.
right.
Africa doesn't
And
need aid.
by the way,
Thank you.
None
We
of those
don't want no
places
aid.
need aid. Period.
We've been saying it for years. We don't want aid.
by the
We
way,
want trade, not
by the
aid.
way,
Trade,
by
not
the way.
aid.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm
so
not going mad. I'm just participating in their talk show.
you ever heard of AGOC, where people can
Who?
import things into America? AGOC. I think it's
Listen
African
to me,
Growth and Development
brother.
Opportunity.
Listen to me, brother.
You
Listen
can
to me.
import things from Africa into the United States duty free. That's
My
trade.
friend.
Did you
And
know
by the
that the
Okay,
way,
senator
I'm
came
gonna,
in and said that
by
the
the way,
USA aid
one
is
second.
no, did you know
By
that
the
the
way,
US aid
one
is
second.
supporting places like Boko Haram?
thank you
Did you
very
know
much.
that?
Thank you very much, brother.
One second. By the way, when tuberculosis, HIV, and things like that start to spread, you think it's gonna stay where it is? It's gonna
Hey,
go just like
Who's
COVID
spreading
did.
it?
who's spreading it?
Who's spreading it?
Bro,
Who's spreading it? Because the first people in South
Your own
Africa that was
branches made it.
crying, the
Who's
first
spreading it?
people in South Africa was crying was the homosexuals. That was the
We were
first
all
people that was
crying.
crying.
bro.
We were.
If Uganda legalized homosexuality, then when the HIV rate go up, who gonna fund them? Who gonna fund them?
Homosexuality does HIV
Who's
does
going
not.
I
to
don't get it,
fund
man.
them?
I don't get it. You
HIV
Listen,
guys
does
act
not
listen,
just
like
spread through
listen,
homosexuality. It spreads
listen.
through other means
AIDS was
also.
created by American scientists, okay? Part of the germ warfare. Your people created it. You create everything to kill them. You can't kill a black man. We're from God. You can't kill us. You're gonna die instead.
So only
Okay?
black
Look
people
at your
get AIDS.
numbers.
That's what you're saying,
Huh?
Luis?
No,
Only
what I'm
black people
saying is
get
they
AIDS.
created it. They created it and pushed it through South Africa
So
after
they
the
created
apartheid.
something that doesn't just affect black people to kill black people.
Of course, because
Come
they're
on,
not
man.
that
Think about
smart.
it for a minute, bro.
Go
Think
turn
about
it
it.
around. Go turn it around. They created it to kill us. That's why they spread it through South
Think
Africa
about it
after
for a
Mandela
minute.
was released.
Yeah,
I'm
so we
telling you the
worried
truth.
about
I
the
don't have to
gender
think
stuff.
about it.
When them people over in South Africa, other black brothers
Listen,
and sisters
listen,
can't get their meds,
listen. We in Africa, listen.
you
We
can
know
thank
how to deal. We, hey,
our
listen. We
voters
don't.
over here.
Listen. You didn't create the black man, okay? So we don't need you to save us. So you tell that to your gay agenda people. We don't want no backy business in Africa. I'm telling you that ain't gonna run. South Africa have it because they love the white man.
And you
Fuck
living
them.
in the
I'm
gay
living in
country where
the
gay
UK.
people can marry,
Yeah, it's not my country. It's
and
not my
freedom
country. They do what they like.
on the
It's not
internet
my.
talking, and
It's
you
not
don't
my
want that
country.
freedom for other
It,
people. All right, cool.
Freedom to what? To fuck a man up the ass? You're not in my village. If I touch you there, man, you're gonna get burned to death.
Do you screw people up the ass? You have the
No,
freedom to make
I
that
don't do
decision,
that.
yes
I
or
don't do
no.
that. I know how to do
Exactly. So
proper
what are you worried
rectification.
about?
No, that
What do you mean what I'm worried about? Tell you what I'm worried about, because your bastards going to influence my people to do that shit. That's what I'm worried about. You see, the homosexual is not prepared to live in the compounds of his own home. He's going to change the laws in America and in England and go to the UN, change that to force it down my people's throat. That's the
Hey, let me
problem.
ask
You
you this
don't want to
question:
live it within the
Is your
confines of your own
sexuality
goddamn bedroom.
dictated by the law? Is your sexuality dictated by the law?
It's got nothing to do. My sexuality is not
Like if
dictated
they
by law. It's
legalize,
dictated by
if they,
nature. It's dictated
so
by
do you think
nature.
everybody
And
else's is too?
sorry,
Do you think everyone's sexuality is dictated by nature or just yours?
listen,
Under
my
the Biden
friend.
administration, it
Listen to
was.
me very carefully. Alexander the Great, the greatest black white man ever lived, was a batty man. Him and the rest of his fucking generals. If that's in their culture, good luck to him. That's in their culture and the Greek,
No.
good luck
Do
to
you
them. We ain't
think
having it.
okay? So is it culture or nature that dictates your sexuality?
It's nature and culture. If you have a culture that
So if you were in
encourages
another culture,
it,
you possibly would be homosexual.
no, you could be influenced to be. That's why we don't want you
You could
teaching
be
it.
influenced to be homosexual.
Yes, that's why we don't want you teaching
Okay,
it.
that's why
Okay?
you feel so vulnerable.
No.
I get it.
Vulnerable to what? Vulnerable to what?
To the existence of homosexuals.
Listen, in their country,
I
they can
could
do
be
what they like.
influenced to be.
But in my country, you ain't bringing that shit there. I'm telling you.
You. So you have a problem with it, and it's not enough for you not to want it for yourself. But you feel
No.
like the existence
It is,
of it
it is,
could
it
potentially
is, it
influence
is,
you to do something
it is,
that, as
it is,
of
it is,
today,
it is against nature itself. That's what the Bible says.
and you
Does
could
not
be
nature itself
potentially
tell
influenced
you?
by it.
Huh?
You could be potentially influenced by it.
You could
No,
be.
your children.
That's
Your
why we have to
children can
protect
be
the
influenced
children.
by it. They don't
Yeah?
care about
That's why you
us.
have to
They
protect the
care about
children.
children. They care about
That's it.
children. They don't care about you. You're not gonna live another 60 years. But if I get your children while they're
That's why.
young, of
That's why we.
course.
Yes, that's why, brother, we don't want them teaching it to our children through bloody human rights bullshit. Let's get it through the back door. We ain't having it. You can do what you like in the white nations, but in the black nation, we're not having it. That's that.
When people come on here and they defend, they want to defend homosexuality, but they don't want nobody to come and make
That's
other rules.
defending
That's
human
what I'm
rights,
telling
bro.
you.
People have the right to
Listen,
do what they want to do as long as they're not harming anyone
no, they
else. If
don't.
it's
No, they
consensual,
don't.
Exactly.
No,
They
they
do
don't.
have the
Every
right to do whatever they
society,
want to do. They also have the
sweet,
right not to
everybody,
take, they don't have the right to influence my kid into what
yeah, I
I want
agree
my
with
kids
you
to
on that.
learn.
I don't
Point
think
blank, period.
anyone,
right?
And
male
they
or
should
straight or gay, should be
also
influencing
the
kids.
government
So
shouldn't take the government shouldn't take my tax money to fund whatever they're doing if it's not going to benefit me or the our society as a whole. Point blank, period.
so
It
you
The
don't
don't
matter.
think
children, the children
tax
It,
enjoy
dollars
it
the,
after.
should be used to help particular groups who are particularly affected by some circumstance?
What
No,
circumstance?
no,
What
no.
circumstance?
It's not even enough aid for
Hey, listen,
regular people. It's not enough
listen.
aid for military people. What are you talking
Exactly.
about?
So, yeah.
It's
Listen,
not
it's
even
not.
enough aid for military people.
Listen.
What are you talking
Let me tell you
about?
something. Society needs to protect itself from weak black men like you. You know. Society needs to protect itself from weak black men because you open the door, let the other fucking come in.
Hey
You're the
everyone,
worst type.
just to be clear, we're on American politics, right?
It's not that politics now is influencing the whole world. American politics is now forcing everybody else to
Oh yeah,
follow
just wanted to
American
make
too.
sure. Well,
Right? So
globally,
it
yeah,
affects
it don't
everywhere.
matter. Globally,
At the moment,
yeah,
at the
globally, my
moment,
point
globally.
still stands. So I'm just saying, I'm just trying to figure out where we're about because I just hopped on here.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a gay agenda at the moment, and they can keep it. They can do what they like. But
I
in
think
black
it's a human
society,
rights
we're not
agenda,
having it.
bro. Honestly, I
Bullshit.
think that's what it boiled down
Bullshit.
to.
Bullshit. You
I
made
think
it
they
a
do, and I
human
think
rights
when you
agenda.
talk human
You
rights, it
made it
don't
a
just boil
human
down
rights
to black
agenda.
people. Sometimes when you advocating for
Okay,
human rights,
listen.
it's
Bullshit.
gonna
It
advocate for
never. That is.
a
It's
lot
not.
of
It's not human
diversity
rights.
of
That's not
humans.
human rights. Human rights does not consist of you sticking
You
your cock up
you can't.
a man's
Lewis
bum.
don't care about no human rights. He wants the people in South Africa to die because they can't get their AIDS meds, and
Yeah, that's up to them
tuberculosis
if
to
they can't
spread
look after
globally,
themselves.
and
Well,
tuberculosis to spread
if I
globally
get a jack,
because
wow,
people can't get medicine.
where's the South African government? These
Thank
subsidies
you.
should be the responsibility of the South
Right.
African government, not the U.S.
You know what South African government done? They allowed homosexuality to be recognized in their law. So now they can't get rid of it. Now they're fucking
By
complaining.
the
Good
way,
luck to them. You make
AIDS
your own decision. You
is
make your
big in
bed. You lie in it.
Mozambique, South Africa, essentially the whole eastern side of Africa,
Yeah,
the
because they
southern
spread it
Africa. What
there.
are you talking
They
about?
spread it there. They spread it there. After apartheid, they spread it there. Them wicked white doctors
No,
spread
you
it there. We
had
got proof of
leaders
it.
in South Africa saying it wasn't real, saying things like you were saying and
Bullshit.
stuff
It's
like
real
that.
because you
You
injected
had
the
like
people
people
with it.
like Thabo
You
Mbeki or
injected the
whatever saying
people with
stuff
it.
like you're saying.
Yeah, he was right too. And they handed him out
And
because
that's
he made a
why
big
AIDS
mistake.
rate is so high down there, because you
He
have
made a big
leaders who didn't
mistake.
believe it at
No,
times.
no, 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 because they injected those people with it. The white man was trying to kill them. Them people want to be friendly with the white man with the rainbow bullshit. You want to do rainbow bullshit, that's the result of it. Because
You
that's what
got
they did.
sources? You got sources to prove that? So
What
most
these
South Africans
sources?
were gay. That's
Bro,
why it spread.
go read the articles from back in the days. Okay, you just
So
jumped on
most South
today.
Africans are gay. So it only spreads to gay people. So
No,
that's why
no,
they
no,
got so
no. It
irate.
was
Okay, all
spread
right.
to them. It was spread to them by the racist white apartheid people that didn't
Yeah,
want
but
to
it
end
doesn't.
apartheid. It's
Now
a
it's
fact.
spread.
Go
If we
now,
don't
go now.
control it, it's going to spread more. That's the
No,
point.
because who spread it? Who spread it in the first place? So now you're looking for an excuse
It
for
doesn't
why they spread
matter
it to
now.
come in. What do you
If
mean it
we
doesn't
don't
matter?
control
It
it, it's
does
going to
matter.
spread
It
more.
right.
Same
The
thing with
best way to control it,
tuberculosis.
the best
Same
way
thing
to
with
control it,
tuberculosis.
the best way to
Okay,
control it, shut off the batty people. That's the best way
okay,
to control it.
okay. Forget about HIV now. Let's go to tuberculosis. What's your conspiracy on that?
There's no conspiracy. Whatever it is what it is. We're here, we're still here. Black people still here.
So
We
when
not even
people are laying in
just
hospital dying because they can't get the meds or it's spreading globally, what are you going to say about that then?
Bad. Death is a part of life. Big
That's what I
God's gonna
said. You
create
don't
more
care
people
about no
anyway.
human rights.
What do
That's
you mean
what
I
I
don't
just
care
said.
about no human rights? We do
When
care
you're
about human rights,
dying,
but
when you're
listen,
laying on a
we're
bed
not.
dying, do you want help?
Listen,
Do you want
hey,
if there's a cure, do you
listen,
want it?
I'm ready to meet my
Would you
maker. I
want the
don't know
cure
about
if you
you,
had tuberculosis and you were
huh?
dying? Would you want the
Listen,
cure? Would
listen,
you want
bro,
medicine
listen to
that
me,
save your
listen
life?
to me, listen to me.
But
I was
everybody
born
else was
walking.
dying and you
Listen to
live.
me,
Okay,
listen to
cool.
me, listen to me. I was born walking barefoot. Death is a part of life. Okay, death is a part of life. The richest people. We just buried the Queen of England about 2 years ago. You're gonna die anyway. Big sometimes it gets too bad.
Yeah, barefoot and death is a
Hey,
long
we
way from
all
each
know
other.
that's a part of life. But if you can save your life, do you want to live?
Yeah, you save your life, you're
Flipping
still gonna
gazelle
die at
out
the end of it.
on the Serengeti knows that's a part of life. When a lion's chasing his ass, he doesn't stand there; he runs, right?
Right, of course. He wants to save his life.
Exactly. So what are you saying now?
What I'm saying is if you can afford it, you do what you can. If you can't afford it, too bad. We're a poor nation.
There you go. You see? Exactly. And this is a Pan-Africanist, by the way. All
Listen,
right,
we are
got
not
you.
gonna let you use your excuses to put you about your business.
nobody
We
have
ain't,
to
we ain't gonna let you do that.
nobody have to babysit you, bro. That's not the U.S. problem. You act like we don't have sick people in America that's not getting taken care of. Like, what are
By the
you
way,
talking about? Human
by the
rights?
way,
Nobody cares. Nobody cares about
by the
your
way,
issues, bro. Nobody
by the way,
cares,
What country told me they have that disease in? What country is that?
bro.
man.
You're
Look
not.
up tuberculosis. It's in the United States. There was an outbreak
He,
here recently too. I think it's in
He's talking about tuberculosis. And with the homosexual community, you just
Tuberculosis.
talking
and with
about
medicines, we
you.
Tuberculosis. I
almost
mean,
stamped out tuberculosis. It's becoming less and less
China,
prevalent,
I gotta
but
go.
it's
I'm gonna
now
get trained.
it's
I'll catch you
spread
later on,
across
yeah?
you
the
saying in
world.
America?
And some
In America
yeah,
China,
or
I gotta go.
America.
outside of
Catch
It's
you
in
later.
America?
America too. You think
Wait,
these
what
diseases
country?
stay in one place?
No, what country you're talking about?
In America, there's been an outbreak recently. Look it up. Dinus, look it up if you can.
Okay, so if
For
it's an American
tuberculosis.
problem, okay, then we
It's a
can deal with that.
global problem. But
Okay, then
diseases
if
don't
it's a
stay in
global
one
problem,
place. They
America can take care of
travel.
their problems, and y'all got to take care of y'all.
Diseases travel. Just like COVID-19, it travels with
I know they
people
do.
that get sick.
I know it does.
So if you have it spread in one place, it's just a matter of time before it affects you.
Well, that's what. Well, people are going to make laws to restrict travel to make that happen. Remember COVID?
Yeah. Okay. So kill the economy. All right. I got your point.
No one's trying to kill the economy. We got
Well,
Trump
that's what
involved.
it's
He's
going to
going to
do
deal
if you
with it.
restrict travel. You didn't see what happened with COVID-19?
We know what happened with COVID-19.
Exactly.
And what Biden tried to do was shut everything down.
Trump was the one who was there when COVID-19 happened. He was the one who shut things down. But of
No,
course,
he
you're
didn't.
blind. You can't see that.
No, he didn't.
No. Trump was trying to keep everything open. It was if you go to liberal states,
The
if
first
you go
shutdown happened
to
under Trump.
liberal states were the ones that were shutting everything down.
The
You go to
first
Republican
shutdown
I
states,
live
they
in
were
happened
open.
Florida.
under
Thank
Trump.
God I had DeSantis because he kept the businesses open. He
The
kept a lot
first
of the business open. Kids were out of school, but he kept all the businesses open. He kept most of the essential businesses open.
the first shutdown happened under Trump for like 2 weeks. But of course, he couldn't focus long enough to let it last the time it should.
Yeah,
The disease
because it
spread.
shouldn't
That's the
have
point.
happened in the first place. And I had COVID. It shouldn't have happened in the first place. Shouldn't have shut down.
You
Hey,
guys
but when
forgot
you
that.
got
You guys must have forgotten that hospital beds were full. Not enough this for that. Not enough that. They had to have refrigerated trucks outside in New York City for people, dead bodies. You guys forgot all that. Okay,
liberal
cool.
city that completely shut down. Yeah, you're right.
They
But
extended the
One
lockdowns
of
here
the
in
biggest, most
California.
densely populated cities in the
the
country.
Republican states weren't
That's what it is.
having the same problems as New York.
One of the richest, most densely populated cities in the country. That's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. We win it. Then we're gonna close out. Go ahead.
Bruh, respectfully, Democratic states like California, we extended the lockdowns to 2022. Actually, we had vaccine mandates where you couldn't even go to the Staples Center. I want to know, is he going to justify vaccine mandates? Are you going to really justify
The
vaccine
NBA
mandates?
shut down their season. The baseball shut down their season without the government telling them to do it. Bro, if you know,
Bruh, you're not even answering.
Jay, do you support vaccine mandates for COVID vaccines?
There were
He
never any
probably
vaccine
does.
mandates, really.
Oh,
Yes, there
dude,
was.
people
He
lost
probably
their
does. That's
jobs,
why
bro.
he's so hard up.
If you were in the
Jay.
military, maybe, but you aren't
Jay,
a
Hey,
man.
Dinus, I
You
got a
take
final
vaccines in the
question for
military
the
right now.
panel before you close out.
No.
You heard me?
But Jay, it wasn't just military. Like it was depending on the
Public,
state
private.
it was depending on the state and the industry. People lost their jobs that they weren't vaccinated. Do you support that?
He does.
Do you support
Hey,
that, Jay?
Dinus. Oh,
I swear,
He
y'all
awfully
liberals is
quiet.
dangerous as hell.
hey,
Being a
let me ask
liberal
this
is
question, Dinus,
dangerous.
before you close out.
Y'all is dangerous as
You heard me,
fuck.
Dinus?
Go ahead.
So if you have two options, right? Cost money, save lives, or save lives, cost money. Which side do you think the Democrats and Republicans would stand on?
What? Give me context. Example.
So just in the context of global happenings, right? Where you have to make a decision to either save money at the expense of lives or save lives at the.
I need a clear example. None of this vague and abstract stuff. Give me an
I'm
example.
gonna keep it vague and abstract. I'm gonna keep it vague, and that's just a general question. I don't want to pin it down to no particular thing, but as
I can't answer. I can't answer your question.
Either way you answer it, it's a trick question.
I'm not gonna answer your question. I can't answer it.
Okay.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Jay, do you want to answer? Do you support people who were fired because they didn't follow the vaccine mandates? And trust me, it was way more than just military. I know state workers in New York, city workers in New York got fired. Education. Do you support that, Jay? Okay, we'll close out. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family, Dinus, and search for Huru. Peace.